That's right. God bless us, everyone. That's what Dave Rothenberg just said. It is Carlin and Grassa, ESPN New York, YouTube channel, 800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN, and also over on the ESPN New York YouTube page where you can comment on the show. You can be a part of it. You can get involved. You can be all the things that you want to be. All your dreams will come true on the ESPN New York YouTube. It doesn't matter if it's accurate. I said it.
You're just putting it into the universe, and that's how we roll.
That's correct.
That's
Good
fair.
Morning, Daniel Arthur Grassa.
Good morning. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
I think it's supposed to rain again today. Shocker. So if you want to get outside, have some sun, have some fun, it ain't on this ledger.
I tell you what, I've had an incredible run of the dog needing to go for a walk just as the sky is opening up.
Yeah.
And she does not care.
No.
And
either that or she can't read a weather forecast all that accurately.
And here's the thing.
Yeah.
Who needs to see me in a wet T-shirt contest? Really nobody. I mean, in the shirt I'm wearing today, and this is the shirt I wore last week, my nipples somewhat pronounced.
I see a little bit of nip slip there.
I'm hoping for your sake that the fact that it's 85 degrees in the studio will dial that back a little bit later on. It only feels a little cooler to you because Dave left the fan on over here.
Which is always great to do in a radio studio, by the way. Like we were talking about that last week. So you get that big, like Darth Vader kind of mode with the air blowing onto the air. Giants training camp in West Virginia.
It's like Tommy Boy getting his tongue stuck in the fan.
Yeah, that's ill-advised. You don't want to do that.
Speaking of the Giants, that's where I'd like to start. Fellas, I'm throwing you a curveball, and I think we have it at the bottom. Is that the Jordan Rodgers, Adam Schefter sound that I'm looking for that came within the last hour? That's Jordan Rodgers, not to be confused with Aaron. Jordan Rodgers.
Or Paul Rodgers, bad company.
Also voice of Louisville Cardinal Athletics.
Paul Rodgers? Yeah. Really?
I don't know why I felt the need to say that.
No, but that's good. See, we like to educate. We like to inform. That's what we do.
That's not educating. That's Cliff Clavin loading you up with crap.
I don't know.
That's what that is.
Clavin was a gem.
Best episode of Cheers ever
Jeopardy.
Is Jeopardy, by far.
It's a good one.
I mean, mothers and sons, civil servants, beers from around the world, and celibacy. Anyway, here's Jordan Rodgers and Adam Schefter this morning on Get Up within the last hour, dropping this gem in relation to the New York Giants and what the prospects for their season could look like.
Just look at who they were last year without Malik Nabers, right? He missed all of Jackson Dart's time last year. They were in 7 one-score games, and they lost all those. And that was without their best receiver. That was without Cam Scadaboo for 9 games. They add Isaiah Likely at tight end. The weapons around Jackson Dart in year 2 are so much better. They were a top 15 offense with Jackson Dart last year, 22 points per game. They're a top 10 offense with Malik Nabers, with Isaiah Likely, a group of veteran receivers that kind of round that room out with a healthy Cam Scadaboo. This is a team that will be top 10 on offense and make a playoff run with healthy pieces on offense.
You didn't even mention that they hired John Harbaugh to coach this team.
Yeah.
You didn't even mention that. So if there are 7 one-score games, and if, and this is the big if Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo and Malik Nabers stay healthy, if those guys are healthy, this team will go to the playoffs.
Yes.
Wow. We are jumping to some conclusion.
John Harbaugh.
Yeah, we are jumping to some major conclusions here. And I'm not necessarily saying that it's all crap, but man, we're making some massive leaps here for a team that you can always point to a lot of things like 7 one-score games. Well, this, well, that. Well, remember just a few years ago when the Giants made the playoffs and why they made the playoffs? Because they won the one-score games. It's called regressing to the mean. That happens. So what is going to be average is basically the Giants coming back to earth when it comes to that kind of thing. That's exactly what happened last year. And then as far as the strength of schedule for the Giants this coming year, they have not what I would call an easy schedule. No. Not in the least. The Giants right now have the 10th hardest, is that right? 10th, 1, 2, 3, 11th hardest schedule in the league. So that's top third of the league. I don't tie all that together and automatically assume that with all the things they're talking about going right, that they are a playoff team.
No, and I mean, we're basing all that, too, with, like, strength of schedule. When we talk about that stuff, it's on what these teams did last year. How do we know that's going to follow suit, right? Teams that were good last year may not be good this year, and vice versa. Like, games that we're sitting here when we do, like, the win-loss game, look at the schedule, which we just chalk up to a layup. Well, what if that's not the case? I mean, it's unlikely, but, for example, everybody in the world is giving the Giants a win against Arizona in Week 4. Well, what if Arizona turns out to be really good this year? But I don't think that's going to happen, but You get the point. Or a game that we thought was going to be very difficult, like, okay, at Houston, Game 7, right? They're a beast, that defense. What if they have like a rash of injuries in the first 6 weeks and they're just like a crippled unit when the Giants go face them and maybe they beat them, right? You just never know. You could talk about strength of schedule. I'll counter that, though, with the Giants, and we've talked about this, which would make their path a little bit more difficult. How about strength of conference? NFC's got a lot of really good teams, so we think. And that's going to, unless you are the division champion of the NFC East, which is probably asking a lot, even sneaking in as a wild card is not going to be easy this year.
So what did we ask for in the last few days? We asked for the Jets and Giants to give us reason to be watching football after Thanksgiving. Or Thanksgiving and maybe a week or two after. The Giants right now, as I look at the schedule, and again, things can go different ways. You know, injuries are going to happen. But if I just look at it from 10,000 feet, once you get through those first 7 games and you get to Week 9, which is on November 8th, all right, you're going to Philadelphia, then you're home for Washington, which is your second Washington game. You're going to win one of those two.
Right.
Then you got Jacksonville at home. Jacksonville's going to be pretty good. At Indianapolis, I'll give you a win there. Then we're finishing up the month of December with San Francisco, Seattle, Cleveland, Detroit, and Dallas on the road, both of them, and then Philadelphia in Week 18. What I'm asking for is reasonable. What those guys are asking for is unreasonable. And it's not a knock on the Giants. It's just, why are we not talking about the fact that defensively they were atrocious last season? Harbaugh is going to make an impact. Jackson Dart is going to take that step into year 2, even though I'm one of the guys that says, you know, I still need to kind of see it a little bit more.
That's fair.
And I don't think that's unreasonable, but I do believe in Jackson Dart. I'm very excited. And what did I tell you a half hour ago? Hey, the fact that Malik Nabers is really trending in the right direction is a major development for the Giants offense. And what's the ceiling for that offense at this point? But then there's always somebody. There's always somebody, whether it's Dave, whether it's Adam Schefter, whether it's Jordan Rodgers, who has to take it just a hint over the top.
Right, and they have to maybe look over their skis a little bit here. Look, if the Giants, I think, forget about whatever you're running down players. I still believe, and I've said this all winter, and I'm going to go with it. The biggest acquisition the Giants made this offseason was the head coach, more than any player, hands down. The head coach is the single biggest individual they brought into that building this offseason. He will make the biggest difference. Now, is it a little much to ask that you're going to make this quantum leap from year 1 to year 2? Like in the cut you played there with Jordan Rodgers, like he referenced what this team did last year. There was a lot of games that they let get away last year, right? Like the Chicago game, for example, right? And that was one of the reasons why Brian Daboll was sent packing, is that they couldn't finish a lot of these games. They had leads. They were in position to win games. They couldn't win them. So if you just go on that assumption and say, oh, well, you know what? They were this close last year on some of these games, could have had more wins. Now you get better coaching in here for the next season, a little bit more buttoned up. You get Nabers back, some of the other injured guys back. Like, that's good for at least 3-4 wins. But that's still asking a lot. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't say, like, oh, because of this, this, and this, we're going to win more games. What happens if guys who you're expecting good years from don't have good years? See, you have to weigh all these things into account. It's not just, oh, the players that we didn't have are going to be back and vice versa. What if the ones you think are going to have good seasons don't? That's a possibility here.
I think that people have heard us probably talk a little bit negatively about the Giants the last couple of days and have assumed that we don't think they're that good or we don't think they're this or that. What I think is they're a team at the beginning of a transition.
Right.
I expect them to take a bump from a head coach. that is a very good head coach and was a move that was a fantastic move. It had to be done. And I trust him to restore everything that has been great about this organization in their glory years. He is of that ilk. I trust him to be in charge virtually of everything. If he says to me, Joe Schoen is the guy that I want to be the GM because he's going to do what I want or whatever, I'm okay with that. I'm good with all of it. These things are all headed in the right direction. Why does it have to be now? Why does it have to be now? I know that you're kind of in the desert on how bad things have gotten, but you're not the Jets. That has to be now. Like getting to, improving and really getting somewhere has to be sooner rather than later. The Giants can kind of afford for this to be a little bit of a process, and if you don't expect it to be, I just feel like you're setting yourself up for major disappointment.
100%. And that's why, this is not an overnight thing. Now, it could happen, right? Like, it's the NFL. You look around and you see what some of these other teams do from one season to the next. You get excited. You say, bottom line, you got a head coach now who's top 5 in the league. Top 5, right?
Yes.
There will be a difference. This thing will look better. It will be more of a functional operation. I have no doubt about that. But to say that you're going to go from, what did they win last year? 3-4 games, whatever it was, to now all of a sudden you're going to win, 8, 9, maybe 10, and you're going to be a playoff team in this NFC? I just can't see it. Let's go through it again. Let's ask everybody, right? Look at the NFC right now. Sorry. You may not like Philadelphia, but I have confidence in their operation. They've made the playoffs every friggin' year the coach has been there.
If I'm all you guys that are looking at Jalen Hurts and saying it's a major problem and everything, let me ask you a question. Would you take Jalen Hurts as your quarterback right now?
I'd like to have that problem.
Yes.
You're in the playoffs every year. That's my point.
There are a lot of teams that would like to have Jalen Hurts as their quarterback right now, and the Eagles continue to prove year in and year out that they're one of the better run organizations in football. Even the down years lately haven't been down years. Anyway.
Right. Dallas, a team you never beat. Let's face it. And Dallas, by the way, is very talented.
Yes.
They're talented. They might be, when I say a surprise, I think Dallas could be a playoff team this year.
I heard somebody call them a potential, I think it was Louis Riddick. I heard it with Dave this morning. Louis Riddick said potential Super Bowl contender for the Cowboys. I'm not buying that yet.
Caleb Downs, though, I think could be the defensive rookie of the year.
It could be.
He's going to have that much of an impact.
But I don't expect them to be a Super Bowl contender, but they're better, and you have not beaten them in how long?
Right.
So why are we making assumptions there?
Bottom line. And then you go to the NFC North, right? Chicago, Green Bay, Detroit. Those three are all playoff caliber teams. Minnesota, if they get the quarterback situation straightened out, even though I'm no Kyler Murray guy, they have talent. NFC South, I don't love the division. NFC West, 3 of those teams are clearly not just playoff teams, Super Bowl contenders.
Yes.
So then, as you're fighting for a wild card spot, as we said, if you're the Giants, this is not the year where you're going to go 8-9 or maybe even 9-8 and sneak in as a wild card. I think it might take 10 in the NFC at the bare minimum to get in.
Explain to me how in 5 of your last 6 games are San Francisco, at Seattle, Cleveland, at Detroit, at Dallas, Philadelphia. Explain to me how you're getting to 10.
At Detroit, at Dallas on a short week, by the way, Bob.
Yeah, I mean, maybe if you found your way to 9 miraculously somehow and the Eagles didn't have a game that mattered in Week 18, you would win a 10th game. But if 5 of those last 6, right? So that means in the beginning part of the year up through basically Thanksgiving, you would have had to have won at least 6, really at least 7 games before Thanksgiving. Good freaking luck. Please tell me where 7 wins are coming from earlier in the year when you got to go on the road to Philly, you got to go on the road to Houston, you got to go on the road to the Rams, and you're playing the Cowboys at home during that stretch, and Jacksonville at home. Where are 7 wins coming from? Stop.
Well, the thing is, too, I'll go into each and every game for the Giants knowing that they got a shot. They got a puncher's chance because I think they're going to be well coached.
That's great. I'm going to be in one-score games. Right. I'm a better team. I'm more competitive. These are things to feel good about.
I don't know why you wouldn't, given how barren it's been for how long. Now, look, do you want to hold on to the premise that, week 2, Go to the Rams. You're going to be a decisive underdog. Maybe you get lucky. You get them early in the season instead of like when they're humming late in the year. But that's still a tough ask on a Monday night, to go out there on national TV and beat the Rams. Like, there's a distinct possibility you start 0-2. And then what are the vibes going to be? If you can't beat the Dallas Cowboys at home in week 1, who, as you said, they own you. And I think the Giants are going to be fun to watch this year. I really and truly do. They're going to be a pain in the you-know-what for every team they line up against each week.
And Rick pointed this out yesterday and just texted in. He was listening to, and it's an excellent point that I didn't bring up. Part of the reason why Harbaugh got cut loose is they didn't protect second-half leads well last year.
Right.
That didn't happen. Now,
he also had a banged-up quarterback last year.
Very pro Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not looking for anything but positive things with his effect on this team. Here, there's just complete trust in leadership. That's what there is. There's trust in leadership from players. There's trust in leadership from fans. There's trust in leadership from ownership. There's trust in leadership from everybody with this guy at the helm. I'm not telling you not to feel better. What I'm telling you is don't set yourself up. Don't set yourself up to have a massive disappointment. I mean, are we wrong? 800-919-3776. Are you expecting the Giants to really be playoff contenders? Are you really expecting that? 800-919-3776. It's feel good. Warm your heart. Things are getting better. Doesn't have to be today.
No, doesn't have. Again, I hate using the word. It's a process. I know I sound like the 76ers, but, trust the process.
It's the Knicks. It's a few years. That's what it is. And Dave with the, 65 or whatever. Maybe.
Yeah. Maybe.
That's not stupid. I mean, the bit's stupid, but it's not stupid.
Now, full disclosure. What will change this and what will really accelerate the curve here in a big way is if the quarterback takes a quantum leap in year 2.
This is accurate.
Correct?
Yes.
I mean, it's a quarterback-driven league. We know that. So if you have coach coupled with quarterback who's going to play at an unbelievable level, and you're like, wow, now the goalpost just moved, right? Goalpost just moved. I got Nabers. I got a quarterback who's playing at an elite level. I got an offensive line that can actually give him time to go out there and do his thing, right? Now I start to think maybe playoffs is not that crazy of an ask in year number 2.
Yeah.
Right?
Just because I don't want to don your blue glasses and look at the world.
The blue-colored glasses, the shades.
And look at the world through the Giants' eyes as far as what the greatness they could have this season doesn't mean I can't acknowledge where this is headed. And listen, all bets are off if Jackson Dart is that guy. All bets are off. And all I've been asking is to see it for another year. We have seen. Do we have to point out C.J. Stroud? Look at C.J. Stroud year 1 and what's happened since. There's been a regression. He's got a big season coming up. He hasn't gotten paid yet. Am I correct? He has not gotten paid yet.
He has not gotten paid yet.
Yeah, they didn't pay him this offseason because he was coming off a horrible year.
Mm-hmm.
C.J. Stroud, big first year, has tailed off. That has happened with quarterbacks before. All I'm asking for is the progression forward. No reason to think it won't happen. Is he picking up the offense fast enough? Once we get into the regular season, will he continue? Will teams actually adjust to him as they often do? And will he then be able to make the adjustments in return?
Rick and I talked about this last week. And I hate doing this. You know what I mean? We're not playing one-on-one. It's not an individual sport. But if you want to look at it a certain way with the NFC East, since we're on the subject of quarterback and Jackson Dart, fair to say right now, based on NFL resume, you're going into the season, Jackson Dart is 4 of 4. As far as if we're ranking the NFC East quarterbacks, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's not saying that at the end of the year, you're going to look at him as the 4th best quarterback. Maybe yes, maybe no.
Hell, I could look at him as the best, even theoretically. Probably not. But
you never know.
Yeah, listen, Jaden Daniels, we saw a lot in year 1.
Right.
He made it to the NFC Championship game, but obviously was hurt a lot last year.
Right.
What does this year look like?
Big year for him, by the way.
Deal.
Very big year for him.
Huge year for him. He's got to get paid. And that's going to be after this season if he shows that. Of course he's number 4 right now. And as people want to knock Jalen Hurts, I guess the only way for me to succinctly put it is shut up. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. Right? He's been to 2.
Correct.
He's won 1.
Played okay in the other one, too.
Yeah. He would have been the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Well, had he not fumbled late. But, yes, probably would have been the MVP if the Eagles had won that game. So, don't make these lightning assumptions on people. That's all. I know it's not our thing. Dan, I have always felt that the key to successful sports radio is nuance.
Nuance, yeah.
Yes. Really reading between the lines.
Yeah.
I don't want to beat you over the head with whatever I'm saying. I want to make you think as much as possible and really get into the nitty-gritty, the weeds of it all. No. Just be reasonable. Reasonable.
Is it too simplistic to say the thing that can vault the Giants is the same thing that can sink them? Meaning the quarterback play.
Well, certainly.
Right?
I actually would say the thing that could sink the Giants, too, is what are they defensively? Like, if they're Denard Wilson, I have trust because the coach hired him, but he's been good before, but it's not like, oh, yeah, no, it's good. We're all 100% locked
My
in.
biggest concern with the Giant defense is more personnel that has anything to do with coaching or scheme.
But my point is, like, a lot of people believe, and I understand why, that coaching can have the most influence when it comes to stopping the run because of motivation, but also because of technique.
And the Giants haven't been able to stop the run in how long?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Right? Since Leonard Marshall and Eric Howard were on that defensive line, it seems like it's been so long.
This is why I have a problem.
Yeah.
This is why I'm worried about him, because I do feel like if the Giants week after week have to go out and score 30 points to win, that's a problem.
That's a problem because you're putting a lot on the quarterback's plate. And as we said, Nabers is big here. And that's why I thought it was, and I think you agree, we all thought it was a big-time positive when we got the news that he wasn't going to open up on PUP last week.
Yes.
Because their collection of receivers, not named Malik Nabers, it's okay. It's all right. But you don't have any game breakers, right? He is the guy that opens up that group and takes it to a next level and helps the quarterback out. And then I think with his presence is going to open up playmaking opportunities for everybody else. When as an opposing defense, you got to keep an extra set of eyes on Malik Nabers everywhere he is on the field.
I do want to hear this. This is Joe Shane on Nabers' chances of playing in week 1. There's a lot of Joe Shane that we have to go through today.
Yeah.
Because there's definitely some interesting things to hear from him, especially on his contract extension. But Nabers' chances of playing week 1 in his estimation right now.
Yeah, we're going to see. Again, this is day 1 here. We've got a really good plan for him. The medical staff has a really good plan for him. And, we're going to always say listen to the patient. So we're going to see how he reacts. And, we got a good plan in place. So as long as everything goes as planned, we'll listen to Malik and his body. And, again, hopefully he'll be ready. And, we'll see how it plays out. But no predictions right now just because we have a long way to go still in a lot of camp.
But that's not a guy that sounds pessimistic about the situation.
No.
There is a little bounce in his voice.
No, if there was any sort of an issue whatsoever, he would have not been off the PUP list, as they say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he would have been, let's pump the brakes. Because guess what? You followed this thing all throughout the offseason, even when minicamp finished and they took their summer break. The thought was that not only was there a good chance that he wasn't going to be ready for the start of training camp, remember, everybody was pumping the brakes a little bit thinking that there's a chance he might not be ready for week 1, right? Because of the second procedure that had to be done, and they were being very coy about the whole thing. Harbaugh, he would laugh it off. We still got time. But it wasn't exactly positive vibes that were coming out of the Nabers situation. Yeah. So this is nothing but a good thing, the way things have now unfolded. It's nothing but good.
So here's the question for you. What are your realistic expectations? Do you expect the Giants to be contending for a playoff spot this year? And if so, why? What are you going to be happy with this year in progress? These are things I want to know, because I would actually contend the Giants' record doesn't matter in the end. We'll explain why. But get on the lines, because we're opening the phones now.
Yeah.
800-919-3776. 800-919-ESPN. The chat is on fire. You should be over at the ESPN New York YouTube channel. I am once again wearing the shirt that has my nipples rather pronounced. So you're lucky you're getting a show today for free. That's what I can tell you.
Undershirt or no undershirt?
No undershirt. Never been a big believer in it.
That's probably why you have the nipple protuberance.
Now, here's the thing.
Yeah.
I could be wearing armor under this. You'd see my nipples. Yeah.
Like Kevlar.
Absolutely. Poke right through.
Bulletproof vest, nip still shooting right through.
When I worked at SNY,
yeah,
as you know,
sure.
With all the lights in a television studio, it can get rather hot.
Yeah.
I used to ask the crew that, listen, if you cannot see my nipples and it doesn't feel like they could cut glass, it's not cold enough.
Yeah, but the nipples are not coming through a sport jacket, though.
Oh, you'd be surprised.
Really?
You'd be surprised. Carlin, Grassa, ESPN New York. You know, I'm not a nipple guy.
Hey, Yankees fans. Join us at Yankee Stadium on Friday, August 21st, as the Yankees take on the Toronto Blue Jays. And don't miss Cody Bellinger Bobblehead Night, presented by T-Mobile. The first 18,000 guests through the gates will take home an exclusive Cody Bellinger bobblehead. Get here early, grab the giveaway, and cheer on the Bronx Bombers. Tickets are available now at Yankees.com/tickets.
Bell Parkway backups, big ones. Westbound by Lefferts Boulevard, a crash blocking one lane. You're backed up from the JFK Expressway. And on the eastbound side by Cross Bay Boulevard, an accident on the belt. One lane is blocked. LIE westbound by Queens Boulevard, broken out car on the shoulder. FDR Drive going northbound, a crash right lane by the Manhattan Bridge exit. Palisades Parkway southbound at Fort Lee, an accident before you get to Route 9W. It's still about 25 at the George Washington Bridge. On the upper level, broken down truck being cleared away. New York side, lower level 15 to 20. Lincoln and Holland tunnels. Holland heaviest from 1 to 9, 40-minute delays. Path delays out of Newark to World Trade Center line because of a drawbridge opening. That affects truck route 1 and 9 as well. Stay with the Skyway or the Turnpike. I'm Bob Williams on 880 ESPN New York.
Right now, police are stepping up patrols to make sure drivers and pedestrians obey our crosswalk laws. Why? Because every year in New York, people are injured or killed just crossing the street. So remember, pedestrians, obey traffic signals and use crosswalks. And drivers, yield to pedestrians in crosswalks. If you don't, we will educate you on the law. And you may get a ticket, because tickets get attention, and that saves lives. A message from the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Miller time. People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See them in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge, or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions. Sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
Shohei Ohtani's interpreter was fired today. Ippei Mitsuhara ran up gambling debts to a Southern California bookmaking operation.
The inside story of the biggest scandal in modern baseball.
He was absolutely bananas, the amount of bets he was making. I've never seen anything like it.
From 30 for 30 podcasts, this is the betrayal of Shohei Ohtani.
Presented by Gusto. Episodes 1 and 2 available now. Listen wherever you get podcasts. In sports, the tape never tells the whole story. Hiring is no different. AI can make candidates look like an MVP on paper, so knowing the person and the skills behind the resume matters. That's where Robert Half changes the game. Our recruiters combine their expertise with award-winning AI to evaluate skills and fit quickly. Learn how we can find you specialized talent in finance, accounting, technology, and more. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
Let's go. 800-919-3776 on the Giants, on all of it. Spark checking in. Sounds like you're down on Harbaugh, new coaching staff, and the talent we have. No. There's down on it, and there's objective about it. So if I don't think you're going to contend for the Super Bowl or a playoff spot, that has me down on it? No. I'm exceptionally encouraged by what I see coming out of this. And Tsunami has this at 6 or 7 wins. If the Giants won 6 or 7 games, that'd be a step in the right direction.
Right.
That'd be a good thing.
They've had one winning season in a decade. And why are you going to sit here all of a sudden and say, like, oh, yeah, the things are going to turn in 1 year? And things takes time, man.
And I'll go back to it for everybody that wants to point to the Jordan Rodgers of the world, to point to all the one-score losses last year. That was a year where they had a ton of one-score wins. And what happened? We all knew that they weren't very good. And the bigger problem with that team was that we all knew that that team, as it was compromised, topped out at that spot and was really fortunate to do so. But instead of having the guts to, rip it down a little bit and retool it, they tried to ride that out, and that killed Shane and that killed Dable at the time.
Yeah, they were ahead of schedule, unfortunately, and at the time you think that it was all great, but in the long run, it was actually the thing that doomed them the most, right? And I don't know if look, I'm not going to sit here and say that they got ahead of themselves mentally as far as building a team and trying to develop this thing into a winner, thinking, oh, we won a playoff game year 1. We are so much further ahead of the curve than anybody thought we'd be. No, I think that there was reality that was associated with that because I remember they talked about it going into that second year. Remember, they were also crippled with injuries going into that second year. Starting on that opening night, right, with the and if Andrew Thomas goes down, as we saw with that offensive line, like it just completely crumbles. And it was a trickle-down effect. So nothing went the way it was supposed to. You throw in the tough schedule, but they just didn't know how to get it back on track. That was their biggest problem. But you're right, there is a legitimate fear when a team overachieves early on in a process that in the long run it hurts them. And I think that the Mets are going through that now by what happened in David Stern's first year in 24 when they made that miracle run to the NLCS.
What are you expecting this year, realistically? 800-919-3776. Scott Poughkeepsie starts us off today, ESPN New York. Scott, what's up, buddy?
Good morning, boys. How are you?
Scotty.
Yes, you there?
I'm there. We got you. How are you?
Hello. Yep.
Great. I'm doing well. I've got, Giants fan for 40-plus years. I just want to see them competitive on the field, confident on the sideline. 6, 7 wins and in all the games would be a success as far as I'm concerned.
See, now that you're reasonable.
Yeah.
You're a guy.
You're rational.
You know what you do? You get it. That's what you do. That's what you're doing. You get it. And so maybe Dave's in the minority. Is Dave the one that is getting sucked into all these storylines and all of a sudden,
maybe.
Like you dangle these little shiny things in front of Dave and he just gobbles them up like a fish looking at a lure.
Well, because I think he got teased last year, too, with the Jackson Dart thing. Remember, he made the Jackson Dart song and everything. Like, It was all, like that techno.
Incredible creativity.
Yeah.
The Jackson Dart. Do we have that somewhere?
Which
we
I
have
think,
to have that.
Which I think was a top 10 club mix in Denmark, as a matter of fact.
Belgium, actually.
Belgium, excuse me.
Hasselhoff was Germany.
Right.
And then this was Denmark.
Correct. But what did we say yesterday? There we go.
Jackson Dart, Jackson Dart, Jackson Dart.
And it's timeless.
Once again, Not something that not unlikely that the DJ at the Trade Winds down the shore used to play.
Is that still a thing?
No, it's dead.
No, it's guy. I thought
Trade Winds
it was.
dead.
That's.
I have to really be more less dated with the Unca Bunca and Trade Winds and stick more to DJs.
Club Benet. No, get serious. So they go to the bye week. Remember we talked about this yesterday. Is there a path to 3-4? Yeah. First 7 games going into the bye, 3-4? Absolutely there is for the Giants.
Of course.
All right, you're 3-4. Then you got a second half of the season where you have a pulse. You're going into November where you got a meaningful season still ahead of you. Like, as they like to tell the kids, right? The whole world is in front of you. If you're 3-4, I know it's not what you strive for.
Here's the thing, though.
But you got a chance.
Whenever you're telling kids that, you're lying to them.
Well, they don't know that though. They're impressionable.
I mean, I know I'm not a parent, but let's be honest. We're saying that to the kid. I'm shining the kid on at that point, trying to pump them up,
keep their morale up.
Yes, trying to keep their morale.
And in this case, it's for Giant fans, right? The ones that are a little bit dour on what could potentially happen. 3 wins in your first 7 is not the end of the world. It's also not what you want to be the end-all, be-all, but at least you set yourself up for a season. And remember something, all right? You are still going into a year where you're talking about your quarterback, your most important player, continuing his development going into year number 2. Offense, defense, both have to learn new systems. So get me 7 games under my belt, knowing that if I go into November for the second half of the year, they should have a pretty good grasp as to what the hell is going on now, at least.
What do you think the quarterback's grasp is going to be on the maturity thing? Do you see? And I'm talking about not just on the field, but in all aspects.
Gotcha. No, I never really concern myself with that over him. I didn't. I understand that he likes to go out and have a good time and, the red carpets and the fights and, not him fighting, but going to the UFC things and the games and the whatever. That's fine. I have never seen one example where the so-called celebrity Hollywood lifestyle for Jackson Dart has gotten in the way of him doing what he has to do to be the quarterback of the football Giants.
Okay.
Not once.
Now, how about the maturity on the field?
Here's what aspect?
Here's what I keep coming back to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want Jackson Dart to be the next RG3. Jackson Dart, if you look back at what RG3 was as a rookie, he was sensational, especially later in the year. And then what happened, he did not get better at taking hits. And his career submarined very quickly because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And he became a backup in the league and all that. RG3, if he had, I'm not going to say that he could run as well as Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson in his prime is a video game. RG3 had a ton of athletic ability. But if he had the ability of Lamar Jackson to avoid getting tackled, and I'm including slides in that as well, or running out of bounds. If he would have done that, he would have been a much, much, much better player. I'm worried that that's what Jackson Dart could become. Like that is the example of what I don't want. Because I know he's saying all the right things, but listen to when he's saying all the right things. It's in the offseason.
Right.
It's not in the grips of competition. When it's in the grips of competition, are you going to be able to be smart enough to make that decision the right way?
Here's the difference, though, and I hear what you're saying. Most of his rookie season last year, he didn't have a go-to wide receiver. Hopefully you keep that guy on the field this year to where he doesn't feel as inclined to have to go out there and do too much by himself with the mobility.
See, I never thought that had anything to do with it. I thought it had to do with these are the plays I make, these are the things I do. And when you go back and watch some of what he did at Ole Miss, it was very similar.
Some of it, though, also came from the sidelines because I thought that there were way too many design runs for him last year that put himself in vulnerable positions that hopefully this coaching staff and this offense is not going to necessarily ask him to do. You got to protect the quarterback, and sometimes they have to be the quote-unquote parent to protect him. Protect him from himself, if that makes any sense.
Yes.
Right?
But there were too many times, and I know we can all just point to the Patriot game, but there are too many times where the unnecessary
Forgot
hit
about the Patriot game, yeah.
was avoidable.
But at that point, though, in breaking news, we're not NFL players. We're not. You and I, right?
Mm-hmm.
I could see in the heat of competition wanting to do
you
more.
You hit me with a Ryan Clark Schrager thing there. I don't.
How about
this
that?
is the non-player in you.
You never played. I never played either. But sometimes you just feel like you need to do more. You want to do more. That night in New England, they had no chance to win whatsoever. The season was already long gone by that point. And those could be episodes where he just decides to go out there and be like, I have to do too much. And that's what they're going to have to coach out of him. And you got a right coach in here to be able to do that. He had a mobile quarterback for a long time in Lamar Jackson. But think about it, too. He also won a Super Bowl with a guy who was not mobile.
Yep.
A statue in Joe Flacco, who that was his ultimate success. And the most success John Harbaugh had as a head coach was with an immobile quarterback in Joe Flacco.
What I would say is if there's anybody who's going to coach it out of him, it would be Harbaugh. And if he can't, then you have a bigger problem.
Brian Daboll was not the right guy, as we know. Because Brian Daboll just saw stars at Jackson Dart. And he said, this is a guy who's exciting. He's flashy. He's marketable. He's going to put more eyeballs on this football team. He's going to help us win. He's going to help me keep my job. And that's why, this just infatuation he had with him to the point where it kind of crossed the line and peeking through the blue tent and all those other things. Now you have somebody on the sidelines that and you're confident is not going to have to veer down that path.
You know what we're doing today? We're playing the game again.
Again?
Yeah. And the game, of course, is...
What's a daily game?
Name that guy from that team. The more I thought about it as I walked out of here yesterday, I thought about the phrase that Tom Coughlin used to use all the time after a bad loss. Remorse for opportunity lost. I had incredible remorse for opportunity lost yesterday.
I told you exactly when it happened. What did I say? I said it on the air. I said I was there for the taking.
You were ripe for the picking yesterday.
I was ripe.
And instead of just going down the easy route and saying, I think Winfield was still there in 88. No, I throw out a Dennis Rasmussen. Am I trying to show off at that point?
You weren't confident in Lee Guterman.
I hit you with a Danny Pasqua.
Yep.
After I nailed the Mike Pagliarulo. Oh, listen, I got this.
I got this.
Yeah. I got arrogant. I got silly. I got stupid. And here I am down 0-3. I've already lost a week. Lost a week. Now I'm just trying to be respectable and keep the score close.
Right. If it was a best out of 5, you got swept.
So we're going to play that later today because what do guys like to do? They like to name players that are obscure from back in the day. As I was truly thinking about it, there's only one specific era of team where I can definitively say I would just clean your clock.
Which is?
The early 80s Mets.
Early 80s?
Yes.
Give me years.
82 to 85 Mets. 81 to 85 Mets. I would mop the floor with you. It wouldn't even be close.
Ray?
No, I don't want you to do it because I'm telling you.
No.
It's not going to be a fair fight.
Ray, this could be like trick psychology or reverse psychology.
It's not
or
reverse psychology.
Like
you would not even have a sniff.
Here's what I will say.
I would destroy you. I would grind you into a fine powder and sprinkle you over my own oatmeal and eat it for breakfast.
Are you a big oatmeal guy?
Not really.
Yeah. If you want to give our guy a because, like I said,
I don't want to be patronized.
No, here's what I'll say. No, it's not a patronize. I think it's a challenge I'm willing to accept based upon my birth certificate. Okay, the first memories I have of consuming baseball, the earliest I could go as just watching is about 85. So if he threw 85, is that like last bookend?
If you want to,
I'm up
that's
for
fine.
A tussle if we want to go 85. But the other 81 to 80, he's probably going to beat me. You know, at 84, I might even have a puncher's chance, but probably 85 would suit me the best.
All right, well, listen.
It's up to Ray. And by the way, for those that don't know what we're talking about, Harv, you got the imaging there? Just to
remind people.
Just to remind.
The name of the segment is this.
Oh, remember that guy from the team? Let's name him.
That's it.
That's what it is.
There were teams. There were guys on those teams, and we remember them. I mean, that sums it up.
I'm going to be honest. There's going to be a time I don't know when it is. I don't know if it's next July. I don't know if it's next February, a week after the Super Bowl. I don't know when it is where I'm going to want to do that for an entire show.
It could be tomorrow. I don't know if it's going to be next July.
We are a little too much. Camp is opened. If I had been here 2 weeks ago during All-Star Week, I might have done it for an entire show.
Speaking of camp open, we'll get to it a little bit later on. Jet fans making your mouth water.
Oh, here we go.
David Bailey.
Here we go. Here we go. No pads. No nothing.
Hey.
David Bailey.
Unblockable.
Yeah, they said it about Vernon Golston once, too.
In the weight room. In the Incredible Hulk auditions.
Grassa, Carlin, ESPN New York.
This is the Michael K. Show.
I think that when you watch a team every single day, I think we get more of a harsh perspective because teams that are having quote-unquote good years, the injury-decimated Yankees play those teams, and they seem to handle them quite well. Maybe things are not as bad as we all think they are because we're watching them every single day.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Presented by the Parisman Firm.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them. According to an independent study, Amazon prices average 14% lower than other retailers. Get food, fashion, furniture, and more shipped straight to your building. Plus, another study found Amazon Prescription Pass customers pay nearly 1/3 less out of pocket. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Orgavattazona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
Do you have trouble getting in and out of the bathtub? Are you afraid you'll slip and fall entering or exiting a tub? SafeStep walk-in tubs can transform your bathtub from an area of concern to a calming refuge. Call them today at 1-800-731-4558 and save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs and showers are proudly made in Tennessee and offer an ultra-low step-in, avoiding that difficult climb over a traditional bathtub wall. They also offer a variety of therapeutic benefits that may help soothe your aching muscles and joints, increasing your mobility, boosting your energy, and improving your sleep. SafeStep walk-in tubs are designed to easily fit your existing tub space and are often installed in as little as one day. Just dial 1-800-731-4558 today to save $1,600 and receive a free shower package. That's 1-800-731-4558 for a free no-obligation consultation and to save $1,600. SafeStep walk-in tubs. Safety never felt so good.
Back to school starts now. Get long-lasting battery life on the Dell XPS laptop powered by Series 3 Intel Core so you can work from anywhere. Now starting at $699 with exclusive student pricing starting at $599. Complete your setup with savings on select monitors and must-have electronics and accessories. Limited time deals and free shipping on PCs and more await you at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like public works supervisor.
Hey, this water main is under a ton of pressure. Did you ever fix it?
Yeah, 3 layers of duct tape. Wait, should I have added a 4th layer?
This is a job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Canty is wearing some sort of a frog on his lapel, and we're trying to figure out exactly what it is.
Though?
So do you know the I think it was a Looney Tune cartoon, the cartoon with the frog that wore the top hat.
The WB guy?
Yeah, the WB guy. Yeah.
Hello, my baby.
Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Yeah, that
guy.
I think that's the frog he's wearing. And so here's the question, and I'm not making light of the situation because
It's probably like made out of Swarovski crystals, probably.
But I want to be clear.
A frog, though?
I'm not making light of the situation. Ryan Clark had the logo, the RC.
Yeah.
So is Canty now trying to have a new logo and it's a frog?
I don't think that's a frog, though. Like I told you, it looks more like Woody Woodpecker than a frog.
I'm told it's a frog. I've checked in with my intricate network of sources.
That's what he
associated.
said it was?
Sources close to Chris Canty say that is a frog. And it's a giant frog that he's wearing on his lapel. First Take at the moment.
Is that the source that you said you were seeking out? That's standby. I need confirmation.
It's a frog. There's your confirmation. I just told you.
No, I understand. I just see that's not good enough for me though. I need.
You going to text Canty? You think he's going to tell you?
No, I'm going to go to your source because I know him as well.
800-919-3776. Stand by as Dan double checks our story. Here is Billy in the truck. Billy, what's going on?
Billy.
Oh, yo, what's going on, guys?
What's up, Billy?
This is probably the most excited I've ever been for a Giants season in my short time on this planet. And they've done nothing.
Are you
yet.
4 years old? This is the most excited you've ever been?
Well, I get in my adult life.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a little.
You mean in advance of? I gotcha. I gotcha.
Yeah, exactly. Yes. But I'm hoping for 8-9 wins this year. But what I really want out of this team is for me to be sitting on the couch around Thanksgiving, a little after, and have that screen pop up, the division leaders, and then the in the hunt. That's all I want to see. I just want to see the in the hunt.
Is it too early for in the hunt, though? I think that feels like that's too early for in the hunt to pop up.
I mean,
they usually don't break that out till about mid-December.
You see, yeah, I guess, but I mean, it still can be. You do still have middle of the pack teams that are 6-6, even 5-7, and and not on that thing. And yeah, I know it wouldn't be the most fun game to play, but just to see it would be nice. That's all. That's all guys ask.
Well, Billy, you know this. Billy, you watch football, right? When you watch football in December.
Sure.
Every time, the game starts or at some point during the game, they show that graphic on the screen with the playoff picture. They got the division winners, the wild card teams in place, and then they have that column all the way on the right, the in the hunt column, and usually there's 6 teams in the hunt. Like, why can't you be one of those 6 teams in the hunt?
But are they going to show the in the hunt by Thanksgiving? Saying. That's my point. Usually
they start doing that.
Usually in the hunt doesn't come up till later in the year.
If it's what I'm thinking, if I'm thinking there'll be an 8-9, even if they're a 7-win team in the middle of that late in the year, yeah, that should still have them around 500, and that should still have them in there. No, like I said, 6-6, even 5-7. That it might be right there at the bottom. They might be all the way down there on the bottom, but I think there's a good chance the New York Football Giants are in the hunt.
No, Billy, I agree with you.
Bottom of that little graph.
Okay. I agree with you, and that's fine. If you get that as a Giant fan in year number 1, how is that not a successful year 1 with your new head
I think
coach?
That'd be phenomenal. I think that'd be absolutely fantastic, and I think you'd have to be nothing but even more excited for next year. Why wouldn't you be?
Now, here was the one thing that would throw cold water on that, though. if you're in the hunt, quarterback doesn't play well, but you're in the hunt. Then you now have questions about the quarterback going into year number 3. But if you have a season where quarterback does his thing, coached well, but let's say the defense is just completely Swiss cheese and that's what's holding you back, you could fix the defense.
I was going to say
that's an easy fix.
I don't know that you can be in the hunt without the quarterback playing well.
I agree. Unless you have like the 85 Bears defense. Or, your defense.
Which they don't.
No. Well, I mean, look at Houston last year. Houston's defense is what got them there finally.
Yes.
Because C.J. Stroud was not good. And remember, Houston didn't even win their division last year.
Houston at the end of last year was painful to watch. Painful to watch offensively.
They won 12 games with subpar quarterback play.
800-919-3776, 800-919-ESPN. Jets camp. They're already making the bronze statue for Canton. We'll explain next on ESPN New York.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity on the ice, Viking Pest Control brings the same level of protection to your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. The season may be over, but pests are always in play. So it's time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking delivers 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. And when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Did you get your windshield fixed? No, this is a big process. I was scared that the whole thing was just going to shatter inwards. Right. And then I'd be cut with glass. I'd drive off the bridge. I'd be a news story. It's not funny. Why is this funny?
So if that were to happen, God forbid, why wouldn't you just stop the vehicle?
No, you keep going.
Hang a left turn 90 degrees and off the bridge we
Do you
go.
understand what shards of glass would do?
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
If that did happen, I would tell people that's how he would have wanted to go.
That's not how I want to go.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, big boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
This is the Michael K. Show.
I think that when you watch a team every single day, I think we get more of a harsh perspective because teams that are having quote unquote good years, the injury decimated Yankees play those teams and they seem to handle them quite well. Maybe things are not as bad as we all think they are because we're watching them every single day.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Presented by the Parisman Firm.
Tricon Construction is growing across New Jersey, delivering larger, more complex commercial projects with the precision today's developers expect. Because when the timelines, capital, and reputation are all on the line, you need more than a contractor. You need a true construction partner. Tricon brings experienced leadership, disciplined project management, and a team built around accountability and execution. From planning to completion, they build with purpose, professionalism, and pride. For serious commercial projects, build with Tricon. Visit TriconBuilds.com. That's TriconBuilds.com.
Kenny here to help you ignite your taste buds with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots. Juicy cherry, citrus lime, and blue raspberry. It's that iconic freezer pop flavor, but with none of the guilty sugar aftermath. The perfect summer kick. It's a delicious, portable, zero-sugar energy shot bursting with flavor. Bring on summer with Firework Freeze 5-Hour Energy Shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or on Amazon.
Do you read more about your team in the off-season than in the season? Does your game day outfit include a brown bag with eye holes? Then you may be a fan of a BST or bad sports team. Luckily, when you bundle your home and auto insurance with Progressive, you're protected. Because seeing your painted face in the rearview mirror after a loss isn't just depressing. It's distracting. Visit Progressive.com today. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Covered subject to policy terms. Not available in all states or situations.
ESPN New York is your home for the world champion New York Knicks. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York.
Carlin, Grassa, ESPN New York YouTube channel where you can make your comments at 800-919-3776. David Bailey is headed to the Hall of Fame.
He's everything that we expect him to be. It'll be really exciting once we put the pads on. And I think we all understand through these acclimation days, we're still in shorts, but just to be able to see the energy and the speed and the quickness off the edge and the ability to hold a strong edge and the way that he wants to play the run game is everything that I imagined from that player. And it was actually just more than him. You saw JJ Inkambari, right? You saw him. He was pretty active today playing on the edge. So I'm happy with all those guys. Will did some good things also today. So when it just comes to that edge group, I thought those guys did a pretty good job today.
Hey, make sure you throw Will McDonald in because we're trying to trade him.
No, not trying to trade Will McDonald. Are you kidding me?
Before the season starts, maybe.
No.
Anyway.
It's not like they're brimming with talent on that side.
No, I don't disagree. Anyway, the thing about David Bailey is there's no pads yet. There's nothing yet. There's just
when do we?
Could we just
when do
calm
we
down?
Put the pads on now.
I don't know. It's like a week, 5 or 6 days in, something like that.
I know this has been like a thing. Obviously, the rules that they've been in place, but it's like I still just doesn't I don't wrap my mind around it. Like training camp.
Was that some sort of Olympic music? What was that?
That was Hall of Fame music.
That was Hall of Fame music.
That's the new Hall of Fame theme.
Okay.
Thing. Yeah.
Side note here: do you find that some of the guys that we don't normally work with only work with on occasion, a la Harvey,
a
la Joe Leo, a la Julian? Well, maybe not so much Julian. They feel like they have a little too much carte blanche when it comes to the drops. Do you feel like that's accurate?
No, I don't necessarily think so. I think it contributes. I think it helps.
I think it contributes, but I think there are times where no.
But that was the Hall of Fame theme. Like, I see where he was going, though.
Yes.
That's like the Hall of Fame thing. We were talking about the Hall of Fame. I admire that.
I don't have a problem with that. I want to be clear.
Sure.
I want to be clear.
I think you might have lost him.
Are you going to drop some sort of a soccer goal call on me later?
No, never.
Because Dan's here?
No, never. I'll just do my thing here and just be quiet.
No,
don't see. That's why I said you lost him.
Now you're being a jerk.
You lost him.
Now you're being.
Heaven forbid. That's it.
What are you, Dave Rothenberg, Harvey? Come on.
We have to. Yeah.
Wait, why is he Dave?
Yeah.
Why would he be Dave?
Because anytime you say something negative about Dave, he goes, "Fine, I just won't say anything."
Oh yeah, that's true.
He's one of those.
Massive
That's
shutdown.
True. Right. And see, here's the thing. I want to be encouraging for people to feel comfortable taking swings, but I also want them to, I don't know, have a clue. And I felt he had a clue there. But, there are times where I'm not going to say who, and I wouldn't say it's Harvey. But since I only named 2 other guys, there are times we get a little aggressive.
I think there might be one who's a little bit more aggressive or whatever, and you have to rein it in sometimes. But Harvey and I work together a lot, and so I am it's like a pair of shoes.
you have an unspoken language with Harvey.
It's like a comfortable pair of shoes,
right?
But
there are times where just out of nowhere I could be making a point on football, and
Pete Alonso is very similar to Harmon Killebrew.
What?
Yeah.
What is?
No,
what?
it's like the
where did that?
It's like the unspoken word thing. It's like the quarterback, and it's like a check with me. Just kind of like you do.
Exactly. We're in a development of our offense here where I would like for you to occasionally, when you see a blitz coming, check with the sideline for the play call.
Right. We're at the line of scrimmage, right? Diagnosing the defense, and I gave you one of these. I gave you one of.
Yeah. That's just, okay.
And you know what to do.
Okay. All right, Omaha, Roger. Okay, hang on. We're going right now.
Quick release.
Guys
going to be expecting
a couple of other things here I wanted to hear from Aaron Glenn. Yes, the David Bailey thing, I think, it's all very exciting. I'm hopeful that David Bailey's going to be a terrific pass rusher for the Jets. I'm going to reserve judgment on the whole setting the edge thing because one of the knocks on David Bailey was not necessarily great against the run in college. Now, granted, he was playing at Texas Tech and Stanford before that.
Right.
But what does that look like as you're developing in setting the edge against the run? How much better is he going to get in those spots?
It's also tough to sit here and take setting the edge seriously like today when you're not in pads.
Right.
No pads.
No pads.
But you're right. I mean, that's going to be a big part of this thing. But I will say this, though. And you know, he was drafted second overall. His quote-unquote superpower is to go rush the passer. That's what he's here for. You know what I mean? They signed other guys, you know, edge linebackers to help in that so-called setting the edge. You know, the Osais, the Kingsley Abare, you know, guys like that. Those are the ones that they're expecting to do more of the heavy lifting as far as, you know, getting in there, trying to stop the run, you know, not stringing plays out, that sort of thing. David Bailey, it's basically, dude, whether your hand's in the dirt, whether you're stand-up, go get the quarterback. That's what you're here for. And if he has his 8-9 sacks, I'm just throwing a number out there, it's going to help this defense a lot.
Oh, if David Bailey has 8 or 9 sacks, that's a massive help for this defense. And that's a big number for year one. But let's see. Let's see if it comes. A couple of other things I wanted to hear from Aaron Glenn about. This is first one. On the Jets' reported interest in Terrion Arnold. Terrion Arnold reported interest in who was, as we know, this offseason arrested for kidnapping.
You have to go through his lawyer first?
I don't know.
Nothing has changed when it comes to how me and Mooj operate. Man, we're always going to look to add guys that we feel like that can help us. And when I say add, well, I mean look at guys. Let me take that back. We're always looking at guys that we feel like we can help us. And we do our due diligence. And listen, that doesn't mean that we're going to bring everybody in. The thing is, man, we're just going to turn over every stone to make sure that, man, is this a guy that can help us? Man, with everything that's going on, which we don't know, and I let those guys figure that out, it would be a good fit. And we're going to do this no matter what. No different than Russell Wilson, no different than anybody else that we look at.
What Terrion Arnold did was basically along the lines of what O.J. Simpson did, not the first time around, but what he went to jail for.
When he got a chance to do a second time around. Yeah.
When he, exactly. When a guy
like O.J. should have been in the lay low stage of your life.
But he went after it, and some people stole some things from him, he thought, and instead he decided to go after it and, you know, hold a guy hostage to get his Heisman Trophy back or whatever was involved there. Terrion Arnold had stuff that was stolen from him, and he went after people with a weapon and didn't shoot anybody, and this is not me making excuses, did a lot of things that were just bizarre in what I would have expected out of this guy, because I knew a lot of people that were around him as a person leading up to the draft a couple of years ago, guys who were on the coaching staff, guys who were other places, and could not have vouched for this guy as a person more. And then actually met him at the draft, not just when he got picked, but the following year, which was not this year in Pittsburgh, but last year, which was Green Bay. Came to Green Bay to see some of his fellow Alabama teammates get drafted.
Little support job.
And was with us on the ESPN radio set when Jalen Milroe got drafted. And, you know, the kid had tears in his eyes for his teammate. So you think, how the hell did this all happen with this guy? But I just, having said that, I'm not excusing any of it. It's just, it was bizarre when I heard it was that guy. I've never hung out with him personally, but never heard a bad word about the guy.
Unfortunately, and again, like, we do not know all the facts. We don't know what the verdict is going to be. All these
3 counts of kidnapping, 3 counts of armed robbery, and an additional count for conspiracy of each crime.
Well, think about how many crimes take place, right? And people are associated or get tangled up with them or things like that we least expect. Right? Like, how many times do you find yourself sitting there saying, you know what, if I can make a list of guys that I would least think would be ever tied up and connected to something like this would be the guy.
Yeah, somebody might have said that about O.J. Simpson.
Once upon a time.
Yeah.
1994,
and I'm certainly not comparing the two, but you get the point. the thing I would say is there was obviously enough, when they say there's smoke, there's fire and all that, there was obviously enough that was troubling there for the Lions to cut a second-year starting corner without even blinking an eye.
See, here's the thing.
About the situation.
I don't care about the relationship that, let's say, somebody like Aaron Glenn has with the player, right? To me, a move like that is not worth the risk necessarily and not worth the gamble, especially if you're not a championship caliber team and you're one player away.
Right.
Terry and Arnold coming aboard is not going to make them a Super Bowl team, right? Like, if you keep talking about the right people, the right this, the right that, and this, the progress and the plan you have in place and the program, this to me would completely drive that right off the road, would it not?
Yeah.
I don't think this is worth the roll of the dice for where they are right now with their program. I just don't.
I would agree. And then there's this. What energizes you about calling the defense? This is Aaron Glenn.
When there's an issue on defense, I can quickly fix it because I know the defense like the back of my hand, and that feels really, really good. That feels really good. And to be able to coach everybody from D-line, linebackers, DBs, to be able to be really specific, and this is what I'm looking for and this is how I want to go. And then the players responding to that and knowing exactly what that is. That feels really good to be able to do that. I've said this before, I miss doing that. And to be able to make the decision to say, listen, AG, you go out there and call it. It felt good today in practice. It felt really good today in practice. So I'm looking forward to the go forward. I'm looking forward to our players improving too. And I'm just talking about in general, offense, defense, and special teams. Again, everybody is excited. Competing and improving is where we're at right now.
So I like everything he says,
Mm-hmm.
but there are two things that are going to weigh on my mind when it comes to Aaron Glenn this year. Number one, he didn't want to do it in the first place.
Right.
He wanted Wink Martindale to be the guy, and then call this an educated speculation on my part. I think that a half-educated speculation. I think that if you'll remember when Aaron Glenn took this job, it wasn't immediate, and I think he held them up for a pretty good dollar amount. And I think that this year, when the owner kind of remembers that and goes to have a discussion with the head coach about what they want to do, and the coach is like, yeah, I want to hire Wink Martindale. He's going to cost us $4 million a year or whatever the number is to be our defensive coordinator. The owner's like, I'm sorry, wait a second. What? I'm paying you how much? And you're a defensive guru? You know what? You fix this. I'm not paying somebody else $4 million a year to go and do that. Would you call that a speculation that is just based in nothing? Or would you call that a reasonable discussion that possibly could have taken place?
I'll ask you. I'll answer it this way. Pretend you're the one cutting the checks.
Yeah.
Okay. Everything you just outlined, very fair. What about a good portion of your first coaching staff that you then wanted to fire after the first year because it turned out they were not the right choices?
Yes.
Still got to pay them. Previous coaches that I'm still paying.
Still paying Robert Saleh.
From the previous regime, assistants included. Yeah. Maybe even personnel, staff, so on and so forth, blah, 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 blah. Got to pay all those guys as well. At the end of the day, even if you think that there's a bottomless pit when it comes to the money, you're probably going to want some answers as to, okay, now why am I still having to write these checks that you're asking me to write?
Yeah. And to be fair to Woody Johnson, I don't think that's unreasonable at all.
No.
I don't. Because the one thing, for those who are critical of Woody Johnson, and there are plenty of reasons to be at times, being cheap is not one of them.
No.
Being cheap has never been a reason to be critical of him.
No. And oh, by the way, a big part of this too, let's have a little fictitious conversation. Let's say that it potentially happened that way, right? At the root of it all, and you referred to the paycheck, which is a healthy one for the head coach. For a first-time head coach, it's a healthy
He's making
one.
north of $10 million a year.
It's a healthy allotment. You are what your record says you are, right? Yeah. And so, especially after 1 year, if you're the guy cutting the checks and I'm coming to you asking for this, and this, I'm going to retort with, we won how many games in your first year?
Mm-hmm.
How did that first year go? And you want me to invest more? I think I'm investing enough.
So having said that,
yeah,
the issue one that concerns me is that Glenn didn't want to do it in the first place. Issue two that concerns me is something we talked about yesterday. The problems at times for Aaron Glenn were game management related, and now you have this on your plate.
Correct.
When I'm looking at a coach that has been widely criticized for how things went in year one, and he had coordinators on both sides of the ball to handle both sides of the ball so that I could focus on being a head coach, and that stuff still didn't go well, and now I'm focusing on the defense too? I get it. We have Frank Reich, who is a former head coach and I think a really good mind to have on staff. That will help, but that would bother me. That, okay, I got to have the head coach make these decisions in addition to calling the defense off a year where we were awful.
And remember, and just to remind everybody, we're going to be out there on Monday, by the way, doing the show.
That's right.
From Florham Park.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell that.
Normally they have those documents in front of you, like where you promote where you're going to be, but they don't,
We don't have that. We don't have anything to promote.
No, there's no documentation.
What do we have to promote?
What do we have to promote? So on that note, though, and remember last year, I mean, ultimately, he was very steadfast in support of the defensive coordinator he hired. A guy that he said he brought him in because even though they were maybe a little bit different philosophically, he had head coaching experience, so he could handle the defense, and Aaron Glenn, as a first-year coach, could worry about coaching the entire team, like that CEO approach. And I think that you could make a real strong argument that maybe the guy who was in charge of the defense probably could have been put out to pasture a few weeks even before it
than he was.
Than he was. And so he was steadfast and stood by him, but even when that change took place, he still did not want to get fully involved in the defense.
No.
And he passed it off to another assistant coach, and things didn't really get all that better. Some cases, they got even worse. So the reluctance was there all throughout his first season to really be hands-on with the defense. And so now, because of various factors which we've outlined, you're seeing a guy now who says if something goes wrong, he could fix it. And just like the whole superpowers thing, you know as well as I do, if this team struggles defensively, that cut that you just played is going to be thrown out there constantly in everybody else's face.
Yeah, the cut that Aaron Glenn, the last one there I played to was from yesterday about energizing him, about calling the defense. And I think that's great, but when you say when something's wrong, I can fix it immediately, that's tantamount to it's my superpower.
Superpower, right. And look, I hope that's the case. You know, like you do know the defense, but you don't know if all the guys that you have on the team know the defense, if everybody's pulling in the same direction. But I would, if I'm the owner, if I'm everybody else, if I'm even a fan, I would expect an uptick, wouldn't you?
I would. I do bring myself to this conclusion, though, in very short order. A question I do have to ask myself is, does the owner now put the coach in because, yes, doesn't want to pay out all that money, and I understand that completely.
Right.
Does he now put the coach in a position to fail?
In what sense?
Because you're asking him to do all of this now, and it didn't work in year one, and I should not have to continue to pay for all your mistakes, but I'm asking you to do even more to fix the problem when you had problems. Like, I just need you to get better at what you were doing.
I know what you're saying. And I have to go back.
So now making it harder on you.
I watched or listened to the press conference from yesterday, this morning, and I can't remember if that question was asked by somebody in the media, but I think that is a valid question because of all these things, like you said. How now do you delegate your time in making sure you're the head coach of the team and not just the glorified defensive coordinator? Because that's one of my, and some people pull it off. Some people are able to pull it off. Andy Reid calls plays offensively. He's the head coach of the team. They've had a lot of success. You know what I mean? Like, some can do both. But I would think for somebody who's still very inexperienced as a head coach, now, let's face it, he's going to be preoccupied with this defense. Is he going to be able to allocate all the time necessary needed for making sure the offense is okay? You know, making sure he's got a feel on the entire team. Because, look, if he's the defensive coordinator, when the defense comes off the field and the offense is out there, what's he going to be doing probably? He's going to be meeting with the defense, at least partially back by the bench, going over the iPad and the tablet. Like, okay, this is what they were showing us last time around, blah, 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 blah. Talking to the guys, what do we have to alter? What do we have to change? But meantime, something critical could be happening on the field with the offense that maybe he's not attentive to. And maybe now he puts that trust in Frank Reich with the head coaching experience, saying, well, he's essentially the head coach of the offense. That would concern me. That you have a head coach of the offense, a head coach of the defense, but do they have a head coach? That's what the team needs.
David Elizabeth on ESPN New York. D, what's going on, bud? How are you?
What's going on, Dan? What's going on, Chef? There's a lot of passion and there's a lot of grit and a lot of football to talk about. And before I start, everybody just calm down.
Everybody calm down,
Chef
all right?
Tell you guys.
Everybody calm down.
That's exact. Thank you, Chef.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you so much. Let's get straight into business. All right, real quick on the Giants side, they're making the playoffs. Malik Nabers is back. He's the alpha over there. I think they're going to get things in order. I trust in Harbaugh. They're making the playoffs. That's my personal
I get that, but how? Like, what is the biggest factor in them making the playoffs this year?
All right, so in the regular, but not regular, but just in the NFL schedule, there's teams and there's games that you're going to win that you didn't think you would win. You count
There's
some
also
of those.
games that you think you weren't going to lose.
Oh, yeah. You're right about that too, Chef. I was just going to bring that up. There's also games you think you're going to win and you're going to get baffled. So you're right about that as well. So the way I'm just viewing it is like this. They'll probably split with some of the hard teams, hopefully, Lord willing. And some of the easy teams, they should get those. And some teams that we think they'll lose to, they should win. And hopefully if you stack that together, that may be in the hunt, wild card, or playoffs. So I believe that the Giants might make it there. That's just my belief.
Understood.
And for my guys, okay, my bad. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah. And on the green side, on the Jet side of things, this is what I want to say. Yeah, yesterday we had a little setback with Pons with the strain, but I do want to say this. I'm hearing that my veterans are getting things in order. Geno commanding the offense. We got DeMario Davis commanding the defense. We got Minka getting people in order with the secondary. So some things are going in order so far, and hopefully Reich is getting the offense on the right page. I do want to say this about my man Peanut Chew, Aaron Glenn. I'm going to be honest with you, just like how Dan said. When this spirals out of control, you guys are going to highlight superpowers, and you're going to highlight, oh, yo, I know the defense like the back of my hand. Before y'all let me go, I just want to say this. Cap, and more cap. He does not know exactly the defense like the back of his hand. Because if he did, he would have stopped Wilkes from all those touchdowns that were given up. He would have stopped Wilkes for all those yardage people. Bro, it looked like Madden when Trevor Lawrence diced up my offense.
Dave, real quick.
I said my offense, my defense, honestly.
Real quick, Dave, last year, referring to last year, they were not running Aaron Glenn's defense. They were running a hybrid between what Wilkes likes to do and then what Aaron Glenn prefers. But it was mostly Wilkes who had free reign. So this is I don't want to say completely different, but there are fundamental elements of this defense that are going to be different from what they ran last year.
So just indulge me for a moment, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of times, if I'm going to say that the Giants are going to split with the good teams,
mm-hmm.
meaning the Eagles and the Cowboys.
So the division, essentially.
Yes. Where is the evidence of that? They have lost 12 of 13 to the Cowboys. And as I look back at the Eagles, I'm counting 4, 5, 6, 7.
Well, let me ask you a question.
7 wins over the Eagles since 2008, and that's out of about 91 games. No, that's out of a healthy amount of games.
Is there a path to 3-3 in the division this year?
No.
You don't think so?
No.
3-3?
No.
All right, because they never beat the Cowboys.
They will get swept by the Cowboys or the Eagles.
Okay. So you don't think then they could sweep Washington is what you're saying?
I don't believe they will. Because again, I think the Giants and Washington are in very similar places.
I understand that, but let's just say a sweep of Washington, even that Philadelphia game, which we were talking about yesterday, that Week 18 game, what if it means nothing for Philadelphia? I mean, that could be that,
Yeah.
And then, it might not feel...
All right, I'm operating under assumptions that the games actually mean something.
Right. Let's put it this way. Maybe I'm a little bit more optimistic. I will say there is a path to 3-3. Maybe, look, something's got to give. One of these years, they're going to find a way to beat the Dallas Cowboys and Dak Prescott. Maybe this is that year where they win one game against the Cowboys. Just the one.
I'm counting. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. They're 7-31 against the Eagles since 2011.
7-31 since that last Super Bowl. Eagles have been better.
I'm sorry, since 2008.
Oh, since 2008.
Yeah, 7-31.
Not good.
Against the Eagles.
Yeah, but they haven't been good against the division as a whole since then. You know what I mean? Like, we've talked about like how
Is that right?
Dak and the Cowboys own them.
1, 2,
right?
3, 4.
The only bit of success they've had against the
I'm
NFC
sorry,
East.
8-31.
8-31.
I don't want to shortchange anybody.
No, the one game is important. But again, Washington has been the team that they've probably had the most. You're right there. You knocked yourself out almost with the.
I hit the mic, and then I also, my chair also turned up the volume in my ear.
Oh, eardrum malfunction. Blast.
Mike
bang.
hit my second chin. It's the whole thing, man. Listen, whatever's going on over here, it's a mess. It always is a mess. We just try to navigate our way through it. All right? We would not call my operation of the show clean. Okay? Like I'm looking for a clean performance of the offense. That's not what you're coming to me for. You're coming to me for false starts.
False starts, but still getting the job done at the end of the day. If we talk about these strides and these meaningful games and all this stuff that the Giants hope to play, they better start beating the teams in their division because that's where it starts every year. Like, you got to take care. The immediate goal for every team, all 32 of them, when they have their first meeting at camp, right, they talk about winning their division. That's the ultimate goal because everything starts there. And then it's the trickle-down effect after that.
You know what we're doing?
I've heard rumors.
Sideline to sideline. Wow. You know what that is? A little spin around the league. A little spin around. What else? What are the stories that we haven't talked about? Yes, MLS.
Sideline to sideline MLS.
Yes.
All-Star game last night.
I had no idea that they even had an all-star game.
Neither did most of Charlotte, North Carolina, my friend.
When I asked if Messi played, you almost gave me a spit take.
Wasn't a spit take, but Messi doesn't even want to play in regular season games in the MLS, much less the All-Star game.
No, it is sideline to sideline as we will tackle some of the NFL stories that we haven't gotten to yet. And still to come, remember that guy from that team? We're going to name him. It's on the way. It is Carlin Grassa, ESPN New York.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
The summer of soccer is heating up with Red Bull New York. Join the Red Bulls on Saturday, August 1st as they take on Orlando City SC at Sports Illustrated Stadium. It's Hometown Heroes Night, celebrating the first responders, community leaders, and everyday heroes who make a difference across our communities. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m., but the fun starts at 4 p.m. on the Boulevard with 3 hours of pregame entertainment. Get your tickets today at NewYorkRedBulls.com.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
It's summertime, so why are you still living with pain? If you're dealing with neck pain, back pain, joint pain, or nerve pain, don't wait any longer. Call Dr. Jay Shaw at Soundwell Pain. He's Ivy League trained, double board certified, no surgery, no long recovery, no relying on pain medication. Just non-surgical image-guided treatments that help you get your life back. With offices in Woodbridge, Livingston, and Inglewood, and most major insurances are accepted. Help is close. Go to SoundwellPain.com. Feel better this summer, not someday.
The success you've had in life matters. The late nights, the extra shifts, the moments you've stood up and said, I've got this. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we value your achievements because we're a school for real life. With UMGC, you can earn up to 90 credits toward a bachelor's for prior learning and relevant life and work experience, or transfer up to 12 credits toward a master's. We offer scholarships, affordable tuition, and online and hybrid classes, all with the support you need from your first day to graduation day and beyond. As an accredited state university, we've been transforming lives for over 75 years. Choose from more than 100 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, and get ready to succeed again. At UMGC, success is yours for the taking and the making, and nothing should keep you from it, especially not an application fee. Apply now and we'll waive your application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
They're just discussing haircuts. Dan's got a big haircut coming up today.
That's a 2:30.
2:30 haircut?
That's right. Eastern.
Is that an Enzo?
Maginero.
No way that's an Enzo.
The issue is the parking. In all seriousness, that's always the issue because it's in a downtown, so you got to find the street meter spot, which is tricky.
Okay.
You know?
I went yesterday, and you would think that for someone that's bald, that it's not that hard to cut hair and to set a beard to a very low level. I don't want it like I completely shaved off the beard together, but I want it very, very, very low. Like, give me a 0 on it and we're fine. Like, and you would think that wouldn't be that hard. Take the whole thing off on top. Everything. Every last bit. Take it off. Still took me, at this point now, 6 months to find the right person near me. And
no, that's
5-6 haircuts at different places.
Let's make if we want to do like a top 5 or a power ranking of things or people that are tedious, that are important to have dependable relationships with. Like you said, the barber.
Yeah.
Okay? A doctor. A dentist.
Do we combine doctor and dentist into the same thing?
No,
I would
different
agree.
Things.
I would agree. All right, listen. Some people do. I'm just saying.
Mechanic slash garage.
Mechanic slash garage slash auto body.
Thank you. What are we up to? 4?
Yeah.
All right. There's got to be a 5th. Something food related. Dependable breakfast place, bagels.
Breakfast place, yes. Because I'm a big go out for breakfast guy on the weekend kind of guy. But I would also say this, as someone that does the shopping in the house, supermarket.
Okay.
I better have a right relationship because I'll try a couple different places. I won't get there. And then, this will be controversial. I hit you with this the other day.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it about my home state. Sometimes it takes a while to find the right pizza place.
I agree. You need to have one you could pull right out of your pocket.
Well, I lived in Scotch Plains from 2009 to 2016. From 2009 through 2012, we did not have our reliable pizza place lined up until we finally settled on a place that was just a large Italian restaurant in Ferraro's of Westfield, which is, if you haven't.
Quite familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You ever get the mozzarella in carrozza?
No.
Oh, that's good.
That's
that
what
is
you want.
basically, it's not mozzarella sticks, but it's a fried mozzarella, but it's unbelievable.
Can I ask you a question, by the way, because you bring that up? And I don't say this to be demeaning, but when I say, like, because you bring up the mut, you probably have a good understanding, and I would respect your opinion. Because I've seen this at the ballpark, for example, at Citi Field. You're familiar with the big mutts?
At Citi Field?
Yeah, it's called Big Mutts.
No, I haven't.
And all it is a giant, like, mozzarella. It's like a collection of giant mozzarella sticks. Like, is it really worth the calories?
Is it fried?
Yes. Oh, like I said, it's literally a giant
So here's the
mozzarella
thing.
stick.
Mozzarella sticks at one point in my life, I used to, Evan Cohen and I used to compare appetizers to NBA players. And my take on...
Wait, time out.
Yes. I used to compare appetizers to NBA players to really give you a feel for what they were. And mozzarella sticks for me at one point were Klay Thompson. Even if not hot, still going to give you something.
So you're not really high on the mozzarella stick? You're just kind of like,
The regular mozzarella stick now,
Yeah.
I have faded away from it. And I'm not anti. It's just it doesn't hold the appeal for me as it used to. What I would say is, you know onion rings that are breaded versus beer battered?
Correct.
I'm a beer battered guy.
Okay. I'm not a big onion rings
This
guy.
mozzarella in carrozza thing, first of all, a great onion ring knocks out any fry on any level. That hot take, yes. But anyway.
What is it? Mozzarella in carrozza?
And carrozza.
Ferraro's.
Yes. And what this is like a half a block of pure mutts fried, and it's almost a beer batter it's fried in as opposed to like the breaded. So there's not like all kinds of crumbs everywhere.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean? So that's what makes it good. You have to eat it with a fork. That's not a hand food.
Which I appreciate.
Yes.
Sometimes some of the best appetizers in the world are forked.
Yeah.
Knife, fork, whatever.
Anyway, yes, mozzarella sticks are solid to me. They're reliable. They're not, even when they're not warm, they're going to give me something. Like Klay Thompson, even when he wasn't hot shooting the basketball, I know I'm going to get defense. Back in the day, this was. You're looking with a concerned look at this.
No, I'm not concerned. It's being brought to eye here, and you're like, oh, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like a sandwich-based type of thing they turn it into.
Kind of.
Yeah. It's a
little extra breading inside, and then the outside of it, the way it's fried, is not. It's good.
It's an Italian cheese sandwich made by breading and frying mozzarella stuffed bread.
Yeah, I get, but the bread's very light. It's a very thin bread.
So you're not taking on the bread calories necessarily, but it's more about
most of the calories are coming from the cheese.
I would agree with you. I don't think you're going.
Here's
wrong
what I would say: don't eat that on your own. Split that with your wife.
Can I tell you something? I'm not a big. I was going to bring up something else fried. Not a big ravioli guy. Like just flat out ravioli.
Yeah.
Like a nice fried ravioli.
All right. So here's where we're going to differ a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. You're familiar with Talercio's?
No. Where?
Talercio's is the massive sandwich place that is down in the Middletown, New Jersey area.
Okay, that's not my
Look
neck
it
of
up.
the woods.
I
Yeah.
did a Carlin's Corner table on it. The sandwiches are
with a T, Talercio's?
Yeah, Taliercios.
Gotcha. Okay.
He's big on TikTok and Instagram.
Okay.
Big. These sandwiches are off the charts.
Massive.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, it's a 4-day sandwich. I'm not exaggerating.
That's how much leftovers we're talking.
Yes. You're going to cut that into quarters, not halves. That's how much you're going to
get. Bread get compromised in any way over the day
Not
2,
if you do it
day
right.
3,
Not
day
again.
4.
You heat it up properly, and when I say that, I mean there's no microwave. You're heating it up in the
So we're
oven.
talking a hot sandwich.
Yes.
Okay. What do we got?
Heat it up in the oven.
Yeah.
And they have the other sandwiches too.
Mm-hmm.
But at Talercio's,
Yeah.
the line is usually so long, they are handing out fried raviolis
While you wait online.
Yeah.
Like, oh, by the way, thanks for your patronage. Here's some fried ravioli to keep you company.
That's right.
Like that.
Yeah. It's great. It's great.
While you're online.
Yeah. I actually personally prefer regular ravioli to fried but this is excellent.
So instead of you're waiting on a long line, some places might hand out bottles of water while you wait, if it's hot or something. They're bringing
people going out to vote.
Yes, we're giving
Larry David.
And you get arrested for that. Fried ravioli.
Yeah, wow. They hand out fried raviolis in line. And then there are some of their sandwiches that have fried ravioli on. Now, sometimes some people don't love the kind of sandwich where they will take the sandwich has fried ravioli. This sandwich has chicken parm. The sandwich now has meatballs on top of that. The sandwich now has chilies on top of that. They do something with these sandwiches that I sometimes find very controversial and annoying when we take 10 things that are awesome individually and throw them all together and expect it to be that much more awesome.
Like the fat sandwiches.
Right. But these are better than the fat sandwiches. These are better than the fat sandwiches.
I have not had a fat sandwich in easily well over 15 years.
Do you know?
Yeah.
This might get me in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
25 years I have been associated with Rutgers University.
You've never had one?
Not one. Not one fat sandwich ever.
Here's why I can't kill you. Because they
changed the trucks.
They moved the trucks.
Yeah, they moved the trucks, and then are there even trucks anymore? I'm not even clear on that.
There is a truck location. I forgot where it moved to. I think it's over.
But isn't it only temporary? And
I think they do have a new spot. But where the lot that it used to be in, there's now apartment buildings. They have a giant gathering area. They have a big screen TV where they'll have viewing parties. And stuff
I know
like
where
that
is. Yeah.
So that's where it used to be when I was a student. When I was a student/part-time employee there, which I worked also while I was matriculating. And I don't know how I'm still alive.
Yeah.
I used to go minimum across the street to get those sandwiches easily 3 days a week.
What's
Wash it down with what is that, about a 20-ouncer or 12-ouncer Dr. Pepper. Probably
sucking them back like Coca-Cola.
How am I still alive? How am I not severely ill
what was your biggest weight ever?
I was
most you ever weighed.
I was never a big weigh yourself guy.
Yeah.
Knock on wood, because I never had to.
When's the time in your life when you felt most out of shape?
Probably when I decided during the COVID times at the beginning of that, I was I got to maybe get out and start doing something again. I don't think I've ever topped the scales at more than 180 or 185.
Wow.
Ever.
And you're 5'11"?
9?
5'9"?
9,
okay.
10, somewhere around there.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive.
No, but that's look.
I'd kill for your metabolism.
No, well, that's the thing. That's nothing that I'm doing. I mean, I'm active now, but for the majority of my life, that's nothing that I say, oh, I do this. For the majority of my life, I didn't. It was that was just freak genetic luck.
Yeah.
My
highest weight ever right now.
Yeah.
As we know, I've been doing GLP.
Yeah. Look fantastic, by the way.
No, you don't have to say that.
Nipples.
See, now, nipples look great, I know.
Sublime.
I'm down 55.
That's great.
I was, at the end of last fall, 3.25.
Okay.
The highest I have ever been recorded.
Is that apple cider the last fall? Was that the root of it all?
No. I was stuck at 3.25 for about
cider donuts,
2.5 years. Just really spinning my tires, so to speak, in the mud. Anyway, most I ever was 350 in college. 350 at one point in college.
Well, I remember if you talked about it on the air or off the air yesterday, but again, the Domino's deal, college.
The college, that was off the air, but the Domino's deal in college, which was late night, first of all, after 10 p.m., medium, 2-topping pizza, 2 sodas, $6.
Yeah.
That was when I was in college. And there wasn't any of this delivery charge crap and all that stuff on top of it. $6 meant $6.
Do you remember back in the day, I'm dating myself, Domino's, remember the 30 minutes are free?
Oh, yeah.
Free deal?
Sure. And then they changed it to $3 off.
Because somebody was racing to get it there in 30 minutes and I think paid dearly with their lives.
Yes.
Yeah, so they had to put the kibosh on that one.
Yeah, that was
I think we benefited from that as when I was small. I think we got a freebie once.
I don't think we ever got a freebie. I might have gotten $3 off.
Because it was closer to 45 minutes.
But I wasn't the guy that was going to be standing at the door with a stopwatch, too.
Hey!
I started this after I completed the phone call. 29:48. You're 12 seconds away from giving me my $3. Anyway, I didn't put on the freshman 15. I put on the freshman 40. Easy.
People do that, though. It happens. It's the lifestyle. It's what you do. College, fun, parties, pizza, females.
Dean Wormer, again, fat, drunk, and stupid. No way to go through life. And that was how I was going through college.
You look fantastic, by the way. It's working.
I appreciate it. Felt 270 this morning.
A lot of that, obviously I'm not breaking any rules. A lot of that is, you can exercise, you can do all that stuff, but a lot of it, half the battle's dietary, too. If you're eating the right things and making sure that you're not overdoing it, I'll have a little bit of this, but I'm not going back for seconds or thirds.
That's how it's going down. What you just described is how it's gone down. Now, am I eating everything that's perfectly right for me? I wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't maybe veer towards the late night snacking.
I'm not
going to.
No, I don't eat I don't eat past 8 o'clock anymore ever.
Yeah,
and usually past 6:30.
You know what I would like at my worst? You know what I was like? And again, woe is me. But when you're not active and you're not exercising and doing all those things, I would be like a fat, skinny guy. Is how I would look at it.
Yeah, I hated those.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're just blah, like nothing. There's no definition to you. Like you're not eating healthy. You're snacking too much. You're not active. And a lot of time that happens, especially when you're doing this and you're trying to, work your way up and establish yourself. You got 15 jobs. You're here. You're there. You don't have time to sit and eat proper meals. You know what I mean? So you just got to, it's like fuel for the car.
I had
pizza at Penn Station as you're getting on the subway to go to another gig downtown or something, right?
I had a woman last year who was a fitness instructor actually used the phrase to me, "I'm the heaviest I've ever been."
Mm-hmm.
And I just turned around and walked away from her. You're just insulting me when you say something like that.
Is Tybo still a thing? Remember how popular that was?
Billy Blanks?
Billy Blanks. He retired off of that stuff. Everybody and their mother used to do Tybo.
I thought for a minute that Billy Blanks had maybe passed away, but that was Billy Mays.
Yeah, Mays was, that was unfortunate. But Blanks, Blanks does appearances, I think, all over the world still, like signing VHS copies of the Tybo workout.
It feels like a good time to remind the audience that all of this content is free, 100%.
It's 100%
you are getting what
free.
You're paying for, and it's available on 880 ESPN, on the ESPN New York app, and on the ESPN New York YouTube.
But these are things people need to know that they don't think they need to know.
Carlin and Grassa.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions. Sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off and to wear a helmet when she rides her bicycle. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/the-right-seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Fans, arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 8th for the 78th Annual Old Timers Day presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. After the Old Timers Day ceremony and game conclude, stick around to see your Bronx Bombers take on Atlanta. Get your Saturday, August 8th Old Timers Day tickets presented by Fresh Direct at yankees.com/tickets today.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. At Rings End, they're there to help realize your modern design visions. That's why they partner with Marvin. Engineered for big ideas, Marvin modern windows and doors deliver effortless elegance, expansive views, and industry-leading innovation, all in a modular system designed to meet the exacting principles of modern architecture. Experience Marvin Modern at a Rings End showroom today and create something stunning with them. Rings End is a certified Marvin installing retailer.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
This is the Michael K. Show.
I think that when you watch a team every single day, I think we get more of a harsh perspective because teams that are having quote-unquote good years, the injury-decimated Yankees play those teams, and they seem to handle them quite well. Maybe things are not as bad as we all think they are because we're watching them every single day.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Presented by the Parisman Firm.
We were supposed to do sideline to sideline. That didn't happen, so let's do that right now. Ray Danahan is here. He has got some sideline to sideline. What up, Big Cat?
So, a commenting story that we talked about but did not get into the latest edition of came out of San Francisco, Santa Clara, and Kyle Shanahan's little car accident.
Oh, it wasn't little. Yeah.
Apparently.
Although what he described it as 20 miles an hour is where, right? He said he was going 20 miles an hour
and dropped his phone, and then when he came
Went
up, the
fishing for
airbag
it.
was coming out. And
Yeah.
that's where it went. So what do you think of Kyle Shanahan's rendition of what happened in this car accident?
So here's the
A
thing.
rendition of the national anthem. That's the only time I hear. Seriously, is there ever a rendition of anything else other than the national anthem?
Here's what I would say. So he was not charged with anything distracted driving related. It is interesting to me that he came out and said, this is my fault. The accident was my fault.
Yeah.
I was going 20 miles an hour. But also very specifically said, I dropped the phone and was fumbling for it. Because if you said that you were doing something with the phone, the criminal difference there, or more importantly, perhaps to Kyle Shanahan, the civil difference there could have been millions of dollars. If he's going to admit to it being his fault, they could have charged him with the operating the cell phone while driving, which would carry a much heavier penalty, especially I'm not talking about jail time or any of that. I don't know the specifics there, but I'm talking about specifically like in a civil suit that could have done massive damage. And again, I would ask this question. I heard some people talking about this yesterday. 20 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Yes, it's fast in the grand scheme, but to be able to do that kind of damage, even with the airbag opening up and popping you in the head and giving you a concussion and all that, 20 miles an hour collision really cause all that damage?
Well, what we need to know is how fast was the other person going. Because if you're going 20 and the other person's going a lot faster than 20, there's going to be damage. And that's what he never, alluded to there.
But he did come out and specifically say the accident was my fault.
Well, it was my fault, sure. But, I mean, if the other person's going faster, it could still be his fault. Now, here's the thing. The person who worked for, the police department, whatever, who was the one responsible for the clerical error, have they been reprimanded in any way? Because that's some pretty big information.
Not that I know of.
You know what I'm saying?
And the Palo Alto Police Department is saying, we're not releasing anything else about the details of this or who's at fault or anything.
There's still
it's
a gray area.
And just imagine for a second
right,
how hard it was to keep that quiet for 10 days.
Everybody involved.
Everybody.
Remember, TMZ makes a living off of this stuff. You see a lot more lesser profile individuals in sports than the head coach of the San Francisco 49ers that they report on as soon as something happens. And then they didn't get wind of this thing for upwards of almost 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's strange.
Do you think this is over?
No. They tried to make it over, but it's not.
Next.
Not long ago, the Philadelphia Eagles signed Jalen Carter. 4 years, $152 million extension. So my question to you, as you were talking before, should Giants fans be viewing the Cowboys and Eagles the way Jets fans are viewing the Patriots and Bills?
Should the Giants fans be viewing the Cowboys and Eagles the way Jet fans are viewing the Bills and Patriots?
You mean as the ones in charge of the divisions? Yeah, absolutely.
Why wouldn't they be?
How do you not?
Yeah. I mean, until they prove otherwise, yes, you have to. But it speaks to a delusion that's happening in the NFC East with the Giants, but it's a delusion that's based in a reasonable fact of the head coach and who's in charge now.
I think the only difference this year between those two teams last season versus this season is I think that both of them are playoff teams this year. So that means Dallas included. You know what I mean? Dallas missed out last year, even though they scored, more points almost than anybody. I think that defense is going to be better, and I think that as long as the quarterback is upright, Dallas and Philly go to the playoffs, which just makes it that much harder for the Giants, for those who think they could be a playoff team.
Next.
And for our final sideline-to-sideline story, Taysom Hill announced he will not be returning for a 10th season with the New Orleans Saints. And whatever you want to think about how Taysom Hill contributed, it made me think we'll pivot from sideline to sideline to a little...
It's time to play. How much did that guy make?
Well done.
I like that.
So, Taysom Hill.
He's a Mormon, by the way.
Give me a moment.
9 seasons in the NFL.
Am I guessing or are you guessing?
You should guess because I saw it already, so it would be very Bauer-esque for me to guess.
Okay. Very Bauer.
What's the Bauer-esque knock there?
We're pretty sure he looks it up because he comes like
there are times
too
where he's
close.
just a little too
By the way,
conveniently close.
Not for nothing. I've seen people in witness protection who have shorter stays away than Tom Bauer. When is he coming back?
I think in February?
My God.
No, he'll be back next week. Go ahead. You want to take a guess? Career earnings, Taysom Hill, 9 seasons?
Yeah.
9 seasons.
9 years.
Okay.
Oh, FIFA up to more shenanigans. Oh, my gosh. It's a good thing we got through this World Cup. 9 seasons. What was the draft round again? Can you give me that?
Wasn't
He was
one.
undrafted.
Was he undrafted? I thought he was drafted like mid to late round, no?
He didn't start until he was 27 at a BYU.
Yeah, but he was still
Was
drafted.
he on a mission?
Everybody, you have to go on a mission.
Right, you do, don't you?
No, undrafted by Green Bay in 2017.
Okay, so wait, 17. All right. I'm gonna say Taysom Hill, 9 years. Give me $60 million.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking in the same range there. I'm not going to pull the Price is Right bid on you. I'm not going to do that to you.
Both the Falcon quarterbacks are hurt already. I mean, like, oh my Lord.
Yeah. I'm going to go Taysom Hill, 9 seasons. Give me $44 million. Harvey Cruz, would you care to venture a guess?
You nearly took mine, so I'm gonna venture a little bit out there. It'll be $51 million.
All right, I'm at 44. Harvey's at 51. Dan's at 60. What do you got, Ray?
And the winner is Dan Grasso.
Ooh.
$62.9 million. $1,000
Do I win both showcases with that answer?
for
or no?
tight
Nah,
end,
it's not
wide
close
receiver, quarterback,
I think you got to be
returner,
within
punt
$100
protector.
for that to be the
I had it
case.
on last week. Somebody won both showcases, and they
Yeah.
fell to the ground, and they were just like they couldn't believe it.
Yeah, well, listen, it's everybody's dream. I used to love the prices,
And
right?
this wasn't talking. We're not talking about like a washing machine either. This was like a trip, and
Oh, it wasn't the ham and egg showcase. It was the one that had the car in it.
I always said like, why can't I like? I don't.
The showcase that didn't have a theme was always the punk showcase.
Like, why couldn't they rerun old episodes of The Price is Right? Like, has the price of muffin mix like changed all that much over the years?
Have you been to the supermarket?
Yeah,
it has.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yep. All right. Listen,
But
if
to
you
the
look at
point
the
where they're
economy,
unairable,
do
though?
you know what it's like to try to get muffin mix through the Strait of Hormuz?
Is that what the hell is that? Anyways, is it open? Is it closed? What are we doing?
Carlin, Grassa. We answer it next. ESPN New York.
Prizes, flyaways, even cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com. ESPN New York. Now streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe today and watch the show. WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2 New York.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bell. Millions of kids in America live with hunger every day. But we can change that. Let's give all the kids the chance to grow up healthy and strong.
Go to helpnokidhungry.org today.
Miller time. People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See him in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Orgavada Zona? Is that a word? In the 2026 Kia Sportage Turbo Hybrid, it might as well be, because it can be one road trip. It's all about turbocharged power and hybrid efficiency working together, so you get the thrill of quick acceleration and the satisfaction of fuel efficiency. Book a test drive and keep the adventure going. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-3334-KIA for details. Always drive safely.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
If Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea was your best friend, it would be the kind of friend that starts an impromptu dance party in the supermarket aisle that turns into an all-day pool party rager at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea turns any day into a legendary adventure. It's smooth and refreshing real iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Is Dove Kramer on the board?
Nothing wrong with a little America.
I love Dove, but this is like a very special.
Harv, give me a little Ventura Highway coming back for the next break.
Little America.
Yeah.
Next time, how about Sister Golden Hair?
Sister Golden Hair. We got some hits. There you go.
I don't know if I should tell. I mean, I will tell this story just because it's Wischusen. It's Bob Wischusen. It's Bob Wischusen. Just briefly. Everybody knows that the Eddie Schizzeri recently retired.
Yes.
From WFAN. Obviously, taught me everything coming up, hired me initially. Eddie and I were two guests at Bob Wischusen's wedding. Bob is a big Fish fan.
Oh, huge.
And his friend circle is all Fish fans. A crunchy group, you know. To to say the least, and back in the day, even more so, like a group that you would not be shocked to see at a Dead show back then. So Eddie, in particular, was really pumped up for this because Eddie had really long hair, and he loved all the old songs and all that and things, So Eddie, at this wedding, was trying to connect with some of these people, and they were all kind of shunning him.
He got shunned.
Yeah, like they were really like, he'd come up and be like, hey, and be like, yeah. And it would like almost ignore him. It was really awkward. So there was a after party at Bob's wedding at his wife Julie's house.
After
that
party
night.
At the house? I didn't know
Yes,
that. Okay.
They had an after party at the house. This is late 90s when they got married. And all those friends are there, and they got like guitars in the backyard and hanging out. And Eddie's like, oh, Eddie gets so excited because they're like going to play, maybe they
right up his
play
alley,
a song. Yeah. And then he goes up, everybody's sitting in a circle, and the guy's playing guitar, and Eddie's jamming. He's so happy with a beer in his hand. And then, the song ends, and he just goes, just out of nowhere, just dead silence around him. Hey, do you know Sister Golden Hair?
So that's what stands out.
Dead silence.
Dead silence.
They all looked at him like, what?
Had to clear out a room. Had to clear out a backyard party.
Who the hell are you? And if you remember the scene from The Grinch where his heart shrinks in his chest, the cartoon.
Cartoon, yeah.
Yeah, where his heart shrinks in his chest.
Yes.
You could actually look at Eddie and see his heart snapping.
Deflated. Like just completely deflated.
His night just ruined, that he couldn't connect with these people.
You would think that would be a staple.
Yeah.
No.
That's Sister Golden Hair. Nope. Didn't work out.
What do you think is America's best-known song? Sister Golden Hair or Horse with No Name?
Considering that I knew Sister Golden Hair and I did not know Horse with No Name was America.
Know a Horse with No Name was not
I know
America?
the song. I didn't know it was America.
Really?
Yeah.
See, you're a good music guy. I thought you would know that.
I'm okay.
Just okay.
I'm okay.
Then I'm giving you credit for being a better music guy than you are. Okay.
You are. It's Carlin. It's Gross on ESPN New York. Seems like just an appropriate way to transition to go to Richard in Manhattan.
There you go. Richard, give me America. Yay or nay?
Hi. Yeah, good. Yay. It's a great song. Yeah, it was good. Sister Golden Hair, of course. A lot of memories, sure. Fellas, as far as John Harbaugh, this is the surest thing that's ever happened in New York sports. I'd say even more surer than Parcells when he came to the Jets. I mean, we didn't know because Parcells had the health issues. You look at the history of the NFL. Every successful coach in their second job was more, even still successful, like Parcells, Belichick, Andy Reid, Tony Dungy, Dick Vermeil. Go back to Lombardi. He came back with Washington. Don Shula, Weeb Eubank, Colts, and then came to the Jets. The only coach that I can think of, that was a failure, who was great his first time and was a failure the second time, is Jimmy Johnson. That's it. Other than that, I'd say it's a ratio of 20-1 successful coaches on the second go-round.
Failure's strong, though, for Jimmy in Miami. He never got to a Super Bowl, but he wasn't a failure, Richard. They won. They went to the playoffs.
Yeah, but they lost a playoff game 62-7.
Dan Marino's last game.
Yeah.
But those Miami teams underachieved because you thought it was Jimmy Johnson, and obviously what he did in Dallas, he just couldn't do that in Miami. And I don't even blame Marino either.
But think about that for a second. It isn't just an interesting point.
But he drafted 2 Hall of Famers.
1 out of 10 for Richard when interesting points come up, but this one is an interesting point, despite what he said the other day.
Yeah.
Of course it's interesting. Is he the surest bet of anybody that's ever been hired as a manager or a coach in New York? Because Parcells would have been it with the Jets at the time.
No, John Harbaugh is not anywhere. I don't want to say anywhere. John Harbaugh.
I'm not saying he's Parcells.
That's what I'm saying. He's not. No.
But his point about Parcells was Parcells did have little health issues that were here and there at the time.
You know what I forgot, by the way, on a somewhat unrelated story with Parcells? I'm in the process of watching. Last year, the Buccaneers celebrated their 50th anniversary. So they had a in-house, and it's very well done, either an 8-part or a 10-part documentary series. Each episode is like an hour on the history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, put together by the Bucs. It's fantastic. NFL, whatever. What I forgot is that when Parcells, after he stepped down from the Jets, he
No. It wasn't after the Jets. It was after the Giants.
2 times.
2 times.
This is the one I forgot. The Hugh Culverhouse dealings in the early 90s where he was really close.
Yeah.
That was
left
the
at the
first
altar.
time. Left at the altar. What I forgot, and maybe I didn't even know, is when he stepped down from the Jets and gave up football operations going into like 2001. After Tampa Bay fired Tony Dungy, they had basically a verbal deal done with Parcells to come out of
the Glazers at the time?
The Glazers to take over for Tony Dungy. The deal was done, and then he backed out again and had cold feet, and that led them then to John Gruden.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's what I learned in this.
I forgot that.
Had no idea it even happened. I forgot. Or just maybe
was
didn't
that
even
forgot
know.
or did we not ever find out?
That's what I'm
Because I
saying.
didn't
I
remember
don't think
that
it was
part
ever
of it at all.
reported. That's what I'm saying. This is very, very well done. And as for a football geek, I'm loving every ounce of this.
Where is this thing available?
You can watch it on YouTube.
All right.
Tampa Bay
I'd watch
Buccaneers,
that.
their official site in-house. It's fantastic.
I'd watch that.
I'm up. I have 4 episodes left. The episode I just watched, they just fired John Gruden.
Okay.
So
yeah.
08.
At any rate, I look at it and would say that Parcells was certainly the surest bet. But who else would fit into that category? Riley? Riley probably would have with the Knicks.
The closest comp, and we're already a decade removed from it, is what Andy Reid did.
No. I'm talking about here, New York.
Oh, here. I'm just okay.
New York.
Now, how did Richard phrase it again?
Richard phrased it as the surest, safest bet of any hire of a coach or manager in New York history. He's saying that about Harbaugh right now, and he's saying not so much about Parcells because about the health issues that Bill had. But, like, the health issues did not keep him from taking the job. And I don't think Bill was ever planning on coaching more than 3 years anyway with the Jets.
There weren't health issues with Parcells when he took the job. Remember, the only reason he left New England was not because of health issues. He left New England because he and Kraft didn't get along, and it was a control thing.
Right.
He was fine when he took over. And guess what? He was still relatively okay when he decided not to coach anymore after 99 because he stayed around and was the chief football officer for 2000 and had a great draft.
Right. The Al Groh year.
The Al Groh year, correct. Yeah. So Riley, him. I'm trying to think.
Harbaugh's up there.
Who's that?
Harbaugh's up there.
Right. Absolutely, he's up there.
Anybody as Yankee manager that you would have said this is a sure thing? Or,
he brought Billy back like 900 times.
Yeah.
But that's...
not really. I mean, the clueless Joe was the back page when they hired Torrey.
And nobody won more than Torrey, except that nobody thought that was the right move at the time. I mean, Mets guys, nobody ever really... No, right? Yeah. Like, there were no, like, absolutely slam dunk hires. Jets, no. Like, head coach-wise, no. Like, that didn't work out. Outside of that, Giants... I mean, Coughlin wasn't necessarily thought of as a slam dunk. Coughlin was somebody that they looked at and said, maybe things got away from the program a little bit when Fossil was there, so they brought in the polar opposite. Coughlin was a taskmaster who wore out in Jacksonville. You know what I mean? The way he coached that team, the way he was so demanding, they needed a new voice, right? It burned those guys out. But that's what the Giants needed. But it didn't happen overnight. First-year Giants weren't very good with Coughlin, and they also worked Eli in. You know, and they took their lumps, and then they won a division year 2 with Coughlin. He would probably be in that conversation, too, because remember, Coughlin won at Boston College. He built the Jaguars from nothing, and he had the Jaguars in the AFC Championship game as an expansion team in year 2. Year 2.
Yep.
After being dreadful in year 1.
Brunell was great. They went in and won in Denver.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, in the playoffs.
Buffalo, Denver.
Yep.
And then went to the championship game and lost to Parcells in New England.
The game was in Buffalo, wasn't it?
Correct.
Yeah, the game was in Buffalo.
But the Denver game was a major upset. Major, because that Bronco team that year was very good. Remember, Elway hadn't gotten to a Super Bowl yet.
No, he hadn't won a Super Bowl yet. He had gotten to them.
You know what I mean. Yes, exactly. And that was thought to be a year. And I was
they were great. There was no way anybody thought Mark Brunell and Jimmy Smith were going in and beating them.
One of the things I watched on the plane on the way down on the trip this past vacation, I was not reading soccer books on the plane like Rick wants to point out all the time. I watched the Elway Netflix documentary, which was okay. It was a little light for my liking. It was maybe like $1.35 only.
Let me
it
ask
could have
you
been
this.
longer.
Are some of these documentaries?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of them now.
There's a lot. There's way too many.
And I want to watch them.
Yeah.
But are some of these documentaries losing their luster because there's too much control from the people they're about?
A little bit.
You know, I could watch, when the shows were on, I could watch a Sports Century on anyone.
Anybody.
Dan Gable, the wrestler
Seabiscuit.
from Iowa. On anybody. I'd watch them all. And they were gripping. They were enthralling. I haven't gotten that much. The last time I really was pumped up to watch one and did was the two Bills, Parcells and Belichick.
What about The Last Dance?
Well, yes, I'm not counting
that because we
yeah.
were all shut in.
I'm
and
not
had
counting
nothing to
that.
watch.
Like, yes, no,
but on that
absolutely.
note, people said that was a Jordan-driven documentary, and people thought it skewed more towards Jordan, and you got access to Jordan. It was his thing, but a lot of it was, I think, accurate. And on that note, for those that didn't see it, there's now going to be one. They're like at the 5-yard line
with ESPN.
With ESPN, a LeBron James-centric Last Dance. And like the Derek Jeter one. The Derek Jeter one was like 6 parts or something. So this LeBron one could be even more than 6 parts.
This is my point about a lot of these things. Are they as good to watch as they used to be when you know they're probably lacking some accuracy and not accuracy, so lacking some context from other people that maybe, you know, whoever agreed to do it isn't wanting to have that side of the story out.
No, I think you're spot on. You know which one was actually pretty, even though he was involved in it, because he was,
and me, by the way, having no idea what the levels are in all of these things, but what has turned me this way is the Netflix series that they have done on the one that they did on the University of Florida,
the Untold
series, the Tim Donaghy, the University of Florida, where they gloss over the Aaron Hernandez.
The Florida thing was a joke.
Yeah.
The Johnny Manziel one was not awful, but they also, I think, could have done more with that one. Their subjects for the fall, they're having a new series. There's 3 of them. The one that I guess
the Manti Te'o one was very good.
There's one on Vince Young, a Netflix Untold that's going to be out in the fall. Like that one to me is intriguing. I forgot what the other 2 were.
Anyway, my point is I have not watched these things as much. You said you watched the Aaron Rodgers one. I didn't.
I just got done with that.
Again, it was Aaron Rodgers controlled. Do I just want his side of the story? I already feel like I have a lot of his side of the story.
You see my butt in that one, by the way. The Aaron Rodgers one.
Really?
Yeah. I know that came out a little weird.
Fair?
No. But you see like a nice, like at one day at training camp or practice that second year, they're filming like from behind and there's like the media, and then you see me. Like I can spot those pair of shorts anywhere.
Is it one of those things where the camera just couldn't help but veer toward your ass?
No, there was about like 15 people in the shot, but I could spot mine anywhere.
Oh, there's my butt.
I had a pair of gray Nike shorts on. Still have those shorts, actually.
Really?
Yeah. I think like most kids would call them basketball shorts. They were on the longer side.
So you dressed up that day?
No, I don't think that was a dress up. Not even close. Not even close. You got to preserve. It's like 100 degrees out there.
As I joke with Rich Cimini about, like you were not wearing the typical training camp beat reporter outfit of polo shirt, cargo shorts, white socks, beat-up sneakers, and perhaps optional bucket hat.
No, we don't. I don't do bucket hats. The hell with that. I mean, remember, my body is like a molten exoskeleton here, like shedding since I was in the sun. But no, I mean, we'll find out. We'll be out there Monday. Hopefully, we get a nice weather day. But when you cover training camp in the heat of the sun, like it is self-preservation, my friend.
Yes, it is.
You are going to melt through your clothes.
People who and this is not a complaint, but I did it for several years with the Giants.
Yeah.
It is. Those are long days, especially when they used to be 2-a-days at times, where you would watch practice in the morning. You would then go and wait for guys outside the lunchroom in Albany. You would then go and file whatever you had to file as a report or whatever. But then, if there was an evening practice, you had to stick around in case anything happened.
Right.
It was just,
well, now those days, forget about it. There's no 2-a-days anymore.
Baseball is the worst. Used to be the worst in spring training. Like those were 8 a.m. till 9 p.m. days. Those were brutal days.
Yeah, and just, baseball in general, just with the sheer inventory of even during the season with games. I mean, like the day game after the night game.
A lot of baseball, and I mean this in a loving way.
Yeah.
A lot of baseball beat writers are miserable people, but I take nothing away from them for being miserable people because I understand the life they lead.
And I think the game contributes to that.
Absolutely.
Because like
it
we
does.
said, like I have vivid memories of a late Friday night game in the summer that you're covering where there's a rain delay that interrupts the middle of the game. So you don't get out of there until close to midnight, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then you got to turn around and show back up the next day for a day game, a 1 o'clock first pitch, where the manager is going to talk. Joe Torre's going to be in the dugout at 11 a.m.
And the locker room's going to be open for an hour and a half. Nobody's actually going to speak, but you're going to stand around playing defense against one another.
Right. So we were all in this same spot 10 hours ago, where I think like most responsible humans were probably sleeping. What's newsworthy that we got to be there and have this powwow again?
Yeah, it's a great question. A couple of comments coming in from the ESPN New York YouTube chat. John Drummond, Jason Kidd turned the Nets around pretty quickly. When they hired him, was that kind of an immediate, was that a safe bet? Well, he left after 1 year, didn't he? And no.
They went out and made the blockbuster trade. That's what turned them around.
Yeah,
Jason Kidd, when they acquired him as a player, turned them around as the point guard, not the head coach.
And then NYY Vice, you had the Adam Sandler fit on. That's what you were wearing.
Basically, yeah. There's no dress code for training camp. It's like I said, you're out there, it's 90-something degrees. You might as well like you're going to the beach. You got to prepare for the elements.
Did you call the police department to find out where you could play basketball in the town, as Adam Sandler recently did in Nantucket?
No.
I don't know if he was calling 911 to find out or not, but he called the police department. Hey, where can I play basketball
Where can I get
here?
a pickup? Where can I get a little 3-on-3 action on the island? You want to enlighten me? Give him credit. He's still active at his age.
And still does
doing all
that where he'll
stuff.
go play with anybody.
Plays don't matter.
At his age, he's not 70. I mean, calm down. He's he's probably late 50s. Late 50s. Late 50s.
But good for him that he stays active. You know what I mean?
Again,
he's got enough money.
Again, that's not out of whack. Stays active. Stays active to me like you're describing as somebody who's going to go on a power walk in Del Boca Vista
or Tour de France or something like that. Ride a few miles.
People that just waddle.
The power walking is tough.
Yeah,
it's tough.
Obnoxious.
Yeah.
It's Carlin Grassa, ESPN New York on the ESPN New York YouTube channel, also where you can make all of your comments and be a part of the program. A lot of football today. What is the ceiling on the Giants offense, considering that Malik Nabers right now is in a very good spot? Now, is he going to play week 1? We will let Joe Shane address that question.
Yeah, we're going to see. Again, this is day 1 here. We've got a really good plan for him. The medical staff has a really good plan for him. And, we're going to always say listen to the patient. So we're going to see how he reacts. And, we got a good plan in place. So as long as everything goes as planned, we'll listen to Malik and his body. And, again, hopefully he'll be ready. And, we'll see how it plays out. But no predictions right now just because we have a long way to go still in a lot of camp.
Also, here's Harbaugh about Nabers.
Yeah, next will be what will be tomorrow, and we'll see where he's at. That part of it will be how it feels, how it responds, how it reacts, all those things. I think that our guys, our trainers and staff will be monitoring, see how the knee responds more than anything. But we'll just take it one day at a time. But it was encouraging today.
Shane was obviously a little bit more upbeat in the way he said it, but when you see Nabers out there doing what he's doing already, and he was not placed on the PUP list, you obviously feel very good about where he could be come week 1. If Nabers is back to being Nabers, what is the ceiling for the Giant offense?
That changes the complexion 100%. And like we talked about earlier, I think it also impacts the quarterback most directly, right? Because outside of Malik Nabers, who else in that wide receiver core do you look at and you say, that's a game breaker? That's a guy that the opposing defense has to spend extra time on this week game planning for. Nobody. You know what I mean? It's just a collection of guys. But it's going to give those dudes playmaking opportunities if Nabers is going to require an extra set of eyes, which I think he can. We know he can if he's healthy. And then it at least gives Jackson Dart a go-to guy. Like the Isaiah Likely presence this year, I think is going to be huge for that offense. That is a short to intermediate game breaker potentially down the seams that he can hit, to really open up a defense. Like, this has, and the offensive line is going to be a nice foundation this year, really and truly. Like, they got a chance to do some good things offensively.
With that in mind, this was Jordan Rodgers and Adam Schefter this morning on what the ceiling is for the Giants this year. This was on Get Up.
Just look at who they were last year without Malik Nabers, right? He missed all of Jackson Dart's time last year. They were in 7 one-score games, and they lost all those. And that was without their best receiver. That was without Cam Scadaboo for 9 games. They add Isaiah Likely at tight end. The weapons around Jackson Dart in year 2 are so much better. They were a top 15 offense with Jackson Dart last year, 22 points per game. They're a top 10 offense with Malik Nabers, with Isaiah Likely, a group of veteran receivers that kind of round that room out with a healthy Cam Scadaboo. This is a team that will be top 10 on offense and make a playoff run with healthy pieces on offense.
You didn't even mention that they hired John Harbaugh to coach this team. Yeah. You didn't even mention that. So if there are 7 one-score games, and if, and this is the big if Jackson Dart and Cam Scadaboo and Malik Nabers stay healthy, if those guys are healthy, this team will go to the playoffs.
Yes.
I can't get there yet. I understand what they're saying. First of all, do me a favor. Take Cam Scadaboo out of all of your projections for the Giants season.
We got to stop.
400 yards in 8 games last year, 50 yards a game. I get it. He's exciting. He runs people over. He's not a big factor in what the success of the Giants offense is.
He's not John Riggins.
No. What I would point to is what it starts to look like when we get later in the year. And I understand that there are always teams to take a step back, but there are always teams to take a step forward. And if we're just going based on what we saw last year, which a lot of times is a pretty fair gauge of what you're going to be facing, then you have to take into account the Giants' schedule after Thanksgiving is rough. It is very rough.
And that's why it doesn't hurt to, like I said, those wins early in the season, just because they're early in the season, they're still bankable. They don't go bad. Like the wins in September and October don't expire, on December 10th.
But you're going to have to, if you're the Giants and you're trying to get to 9 wins to even be, like we're trying to, you and I think are very realistic when we talked about Thanksgiving in the hunt for a playoff spot.
That's to me, like growing up as a fan was fantastic.
Yes.
And then if I could somehow bleed that into December, like getting ready for Christmas vacation, like in school, and you got a football team that still actually has a pulse, that's like hitting the lottery as a fan, as a kid.
The Giants have a top third of the league most difficult schedule this year. And a lot of it comes later in the year after Thanksgiving. So I really only have one game after Thanksgiving that should be a definitive win, and that is against the Browns at home. Other than that, they have a group, if I'm going to just go through, I got the wrong page up here. It keeps giving me strength of schedule here. They're not helping me. Point being is this. The Giants' schedule after Thanksgiving is tough. And I want to be fair when I say that, but here's
that Indy game you should be able to.
Well, yeah, here's what it is.
Yeah,
the Indianapolis game the Sunday after Thanksgiving, but then you've got the 49ers, a trip out west to the Seahawks, Cleveland at home, at Detroit, at Dallas, and then Week 18 Philadelphia, which you hope means nothing, but you never know.
You know what I was going to say too, talking about the Giants, like when we were vice versa, Giants, Jets, this and that. Look at the league. And not that the league is always right, but think of how the league and the networks view the Giants. And it's not because of one player. It's because of one coach. They got 4 national TV games for a team that's been dreadful for the last handful of years, right? They got 4 primetime games. Jets got 0. Tells you what the league thinks about them and their collection of players and who's going to attract eyeballs to the sets. Giants, it's the Harbaugh factor. It's not Jackson Dart. It's not Malik Nabers. It's not Arvell Reese. It's John Harbaugh. That's why they're on prime time 4 times this year.
It is Carlin. It is Grassa. ESPN New York YouTube channel. Coming up, the Jets answer at quarterback for the long term, if we're taking Geno Smith out of the equation. Maybe not necessarily in the draft, but somebody who's on a roster right now and a very viable option based on some comments we heard today. Well, he will explain, and you will hear from that individual coming up. But next, remember that guy and that team. Let's name them. I'm 0 for 3 this week so far.
And a quick trade deadline thing for baseball we got to get to, too, before we're done.
Oh, we do?
Well,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, then there you go. Look at Danny teasing away.
There you
Something
go.
I don't even know what's coming. That's the best way you can do it. ESPN New York.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions. Sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity on the ice, Viking Pest Control brings the same level of protection to your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. The season may be over, but pests are always in play. So it's time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking delivers 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. And when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them. According to an independent study, Amazon prices average 14% lower than other retailers. Get food, fashion, furniture, and more shipped straight to your building. Plus, another study found Amazon Prescription Pass customers pay nearly 1/3 less out of pocket. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
Hi, thanks for calling Uline.
Wait, did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Okay, so you answered before the ring. But now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone, ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline, we warehouse for you.
Progressive knows there's no one more important to your team than your pet. They're like your top draft pick.
And it looks like Chuck has selected Pepper the Corgi. Bold pick there, Deborah.
Yeah, Rich, Pepper has a high ceiling for sure, but he does have a tendency to bark at every tree.
Yeah, he brings a lot to the table, but also takes a lot off of it, especially when it's been left near the edge.
Nothing left to do now but suit him up for the dog park.
Protect your top draft pick from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations. Covered subject to policy terms.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
There you go. Harv is a good music guy.
Harvey, a better music guy than me. I mean, taste-wise, I don't know, but, you know. All right. We'll go there. I'll assume that your taste is better than mine. My taste of music is, you know, all over the freaking map.
It's very. So you're saying it's very eclectic.
Yeah.
By the way, Don Lagrica, this afternoon host, you'll hear him 3 o'clock. He's very familiar with the station. He chimed in on that question about the coach New York, take over, sure thing. He brought up Mike Keenan with the Rangers, who had success with Philly, Chicago.
Yeah.
But the thing with the Keenan was...
And they were seen at the time as being a coach away from winning a championship.
But I think most would tell you, if you remember the Rangers, the fact in the whole 1940 thing, it was like if something could go wrong, it would go wrong ultimately.
Had they... Am I wrong to say that the previous year, either 93 or 92, that they had won the President's Trophy and lost?
92, I believe,
yeah.
Yes.
And they traded for Messier in the middle of the 92 season?
No, that was an off-season.
That was in the off-season?
Off-season Messier.
After 92?
No, they won the President's Trophy with Messier.
Okay.
Or was it 92, 93? 93, maybe? Yeah, 93.
It was 93 they won the President's Trophy.
Oh, excuse me. They won the President's Trophy in 92.
Or he was a Ram.
And then they missed the playoffs.
Actually, it was a Raven.
No, he was a Charger.
What's the line of freak?
That is the best LaGreca drop of all time. It was actually a Cardinal. No, he's a Ram.
No, he's a Raven. He's a Jaguar.
That is by far the best. Anyway,
Eric Weddle replied.
Yeah, former Raven.
Replied.
Or current Raven, actually.
Replied, Def don't. Oh, like the game doesn't need him.
Sorry, he's a Charger now.
He's a Charger.
Oh, no, he's a Ram.
It's very good.
Did that win drop Matt this one year? It had to be up there. It had to be. Anyway, we've been doing it all week. I've been getting my ass handed to me all week.
No, that's not fair.
Here's the thing. What really is more aggravating
closed.
to me than anything
Yeah.
is the way that Dan has really patronized me throughout the course of the week as if I'm a doddering old fool and he's just trying to make me feel better.
It's not fair.
But what guys like to do is name obscure players from obscure teams. And with that in mind, let's do it. Let's do it. Somebody else who went in the Gary Carter trade I want this to be fair because I feel like you're throwing me a bone here with this one.
I'm going to just throw, because I'm really blanking here. How about Danny Heap around at all in 84? Wow.
See, that's the one earlier that I thought he wasn't, and I didn't go with it yet.
I'll be honest with you. I just used the facilities during the break, but I pulled that Danny Heap one out from somewhere.
Okay.
Yeah.
We mentioned Mike Fitzgerald before.
Mm-hmm.
Was Ron Hodges still around in 84?
That's a good play. Good play.
Okay.
Oh, remember that guy from the team?
See, Ron Hodges is the essence of what the game is.
Yes. Absolutely.
chicken dinner.
Yeah, Mike Cubbage, glasses, third base coach for the late 80s, early
Future
90s
Met manager in an interim fashion.
Yeah. Oh, he interim the hell out of that
He was
team.
he was the
great.
worst pinch hitter in the history of the planet.
You know how I remembered Mike Torres and why I even took the swing?
Mike Torres is a good pull.
Why I thought 84? Because what ceremony, whose number was retired like recently, was invited back for it at Citi Field as a teammate. So it had to be Keith. It might have been Keith.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Mike Torres, what is he doing here? Mike Torres.
9 games that year. 9 games he appeared in for the Mets.
Mike Cubbage was gone? Man. Oh, my God. Who did I forget? Here's one. A couple good ones. Oh, damn it. I really should have kicked your ass.
I'm going to
so
probably
disappointed.
be kicking myself.
Kelvin Chapman.
Kelvin Chapman, a name. How about what was the rotation?
Jose Oquendo.
I was going to go Jose Oquendo. I wasn't sure if he was gone already, though.
El Cid.
Sid came up in 84?
Sid came up in 84. I was going to go John Stearns, but I thought he was gone.
John Stearns there?
Yeah.
Oh,
he
I
was
didn't
on
know
the
that.
team.
An impressive 5 games out of Billy Bean.
John Gibbons.
Billy Bean. Not Brad Pitt, but Billy Bean.
Ray Knight was there.
84, really?
Yeah.
An unknown Kevin Mitchell.
Kevin Mitchell was there in 84?
For briefly. 7 games.
Probably a call-up.
John Christensen.
Yeah.
Rusty Staub.
Rusty!
Junior Ortiz. Another Met reliever I should have remembered. And Swan was still there?
Craig Swan?
Swan was still there in 84? Damn it, I should have said Swan.
And the best name on the list.
Who? Tim Leary?
Dick Tidrow.
Dick Tidrow. Well, I would not have remembered him. But these are all other guys that how
do I keep winning?
Listen, all I can do is I would shake your hand. I don't know how you feel about shaking.
I love this because you know what you're doing.
I just have
you're
to.
challenging the you-know-what out of me. You're doing.
But I thought I was going to knock you into next week with this, and you just stood up.
Ray,
you came back like Rocky and Moscow.
With the whole country behind me.
I was freaking Drago, and by round 15, the premier is yelling at me, "What the hell are you doing?"
And then you destroyed him. Yeah, you got to destroy the premier.
Yeah.
Can I have a request? And maybe this is a little
I can't believe Cubbage wasn't on the 84 team.
Since this was a Chris request day as far as
it
the
wasn't
game is
a request
concerned, or a Chris Wheelhouse day.
It was like a TRL.
Correct. Yeah, it was like Total Request Live. TRC, Total Request Chris. Do I get like a Wheelhouse day tomorrow?
You get a Wheelhouse day tomorrow if I find out in advance what it is, because you found out in advance what it was going to be today.
No, not necessarily.
Right?
If it was 85, this probably would have been over even sooner.
You would have beaten me?
I think so.
Look at you.
Because, like I told you, 84, I have like vague recollections.
I understand. But
and if it was 81 or 82, you really probably would have beaten
Here's
me.
what you were doing, 81 or 82. I can't even say I would have, because at this
I think
point,
you would have.
I can't say that I would have.
You would have. Trust me. I don't know. Do you want to do it that way, Ray? Like, if you give me a guess, but how much advance do you need
right
to?
Now, the only numbers I'm looking
like
at.
An hour before. And I'm not going to look guys up. I promise you that. I'm
then
just
it would
going
have
to think about it.
Well, if we do that, if I get a request and
then you can't hit me with the Red Bulls of 2011.
No. It would have to be something where there's a multitude of
Harvey's
options.
like, why not?
Like a football. It would be
Dax
like
McCarty.
Right, like a football team, because then you have
Dax McCarty.
40, 50 guys that you could pull out of thin air.
Okay.
Tim Ream.
All right.
Yeah, Tim Ream, the Team USA.
Who was my guy that I liked? I interviewed him. He was a really good guy. He had black hair and a mustache.
Oh, that really narrows it down.
On that team.
What
Harvey
team?
Cruz. Oh.
No.
Yeah,
on
what
the
number
Red
was
Bulls years ago. Sebastian? No. Something else.
Bradley
Black hair
Wright
and a
Phillips.
mustache.
No. Carlin Grassi,
Thierry
ESPN
Henry.
New York.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion.
When you manage an active facility, disruption is not an option. Tricon Construction specializes in healthcare, commercial, and industrial environments where work needs to happen without shutting operations down. That takes detailed planning, clear communication, and safe, disciplined execution. Because when patients are inside, tenants are working, or production has to keep moving, every decision matters. Tricon understands how to work around your business professionally, safely, and efficiently. For complex work inside active facilities, choose Tricon Construction. Visit triconbuilds.com. That's triconbuilds.com.
The summer of soccer is heating up with Red Bull New York. Join the Red Bulls on Saturday, August 1st as they take on Orlando City SC at Sports Illustrated Stadium. It's Hometown Heroes Night, celebrating the first responders, community leaders, and everyday heroes who make a difference across our communities. Kickoff is at 7:30 p.m., but the fun starts at 4 p.m. on the Boulevard with 3 hours of pregame entertainment. Get your tickets today at NewYorkRedBulls.com.
1-877 Cards for Kids. KARS Cards for Kids. 1-877 Cards for Kids. Donate your card today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877-CARS-4-KIDS to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of New Jersey is offering buy one, get one, 50% off windows and doors, and no payments, no interest for 24 months. Some restrictions may apply. See local showroom for details. Offer ends July 31st, 2026. Rich Eisen here. Running a small business means every hire matters. A bad hire costs time and money, but the right one helps your business grow. The challenge? Finding that person without sorting through resumes. That's where LinkedIn Hiring Pro comes in. It screens candidates so you can focus on conversations with qualified talent. With Hiring Pro, you can hire with confidence and build the team you need. Join the 2.7 million small businesses using LinkedIn to hire. Get started by posting your job for free at linkedin.com/Eisen. Terms and conditions apply.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
No. All right, before Jake Asman is in here for K, I do want to play these two cuts for you real quick because we teased it. Is the Jets' solution at quarterback beyond this season actually on another roster? Who am I talking about? Baker Mayfield. Could this be an answer next year? Well, take a listen to how Baker feels with the Buccaneers right now.
I wanted the deal done and set the deadline and told them it was going to be all ball after that, and I did mean that. And I don't know if they thought I was just going to take some of the offers that they gave, but I'm at the point of my career and understanding what I've brought to this franchise. One, I'm very, very thankful for the chance they gave me. Do not get me wrong on that. But I've also I really know what I've brought to this franchise, leadership-wise and even play-wise. It's been some of the best years of my career, and I think it's only going to trend upwards, just being comfortable and feeling that. So disappointing in that regard to not have, to feel disrespected a little bit. And that's really the disappointing part, to feel undervalued after, thinking you've earned it. This is not a poor me thing. There's a lot of other people that have it way worse off.
says he's not going to negotiate much longer with Tampa Bay.
Were they filming for quarterback season 4?
I don't know.
During that?
It's a good question. You want Baker Mayfield here next year? Probably going to. You will have to trade for him because they will franchise him.
Probably not. I think you got options with the draft if you have to go in that direction.
I don't know, man. They have a
I think that
decent
ship
enough
has
year
sailed
this
with
year.
Baker, though.
But if they have a decent enough year this year where you really look around and say we could be really, really good.
Well, if they have a decent enough year, that means Geno probably played decent enough.
But is he going to play decent enough to where you say Baker Mayfield's not an upgrade over Geno?
But Baker's not going to sign with a team or come to a team where he knows if they have a rookie waiting in the wings, like that's going to take his job at any given moment.
Was there a possibility that we could have set up Jake Asman for a show any better than we just did?
No.
I didn't think so.
I don't think so.
He is in for K. He is next on ESPN New York.